Welcome to Let's Talk Jets Radio.
Mr. Primetime.
Cheers. Let's go Rangers. Eastern Conference Finals. Let's go.
Got all kinds of New York sports. You get the Rangers, Yankees, and Mets both playing well. New Jersey Generals are in first place.
Yeah, Generals clinched already. What is going on in New York sports? Good times.
I think the Generals play Friday night, I think, right? We probably got to stream one of these games now.
Yeah, we could definitely do Friday night. I think the Rangers are also playing game 2 Friday night. So we could do both.
Yeah, I don't care about that. They're getting bounced out now. Their run is over.
Last night, the Rangers. We had a lot of people last night.
I didn't get. Nobody told me about this shit.
You weren't coming off of a Ranger stream.
I just heckled the whole time. Look at this guy. On time?
Whoa.
What's up, gentlemen? What's up, gentlemen?
What's up, Mr. Tyrone?
What's up, Tyrone?
How y'all doing, brother?
How's your diet going?
It's going, bro. Not bad, not bad.
What's your numbers at?
I'm at like 386 right now, so getting there.
And what's your goal?
335, 325.
Is there you have a date you want to get it by, or you're just gonna take it as it goes?
I'm gonna keep going, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep going. So till I get there, we'll know when I get there. So,
I'm saying, is your goal by December, or when's your goal?
No. Probably in December. Yeah, by December.
Nice.
By December. Yeah. So
what's going on, everybody?
What's going on, man?
Are you a Rangers fan, Tyrone?
Better be.
I'm not really into hockey, but I'll ride with the Rangers.
If you don't have a team, yeah, you might as well ride with the Rangers if you don't have a team.
Yeah, I mean, I'll ride with the Rangers. Y'all love them, so I'll go and rock with them.
No. Don't y'all love them. Don't y'all love them. Only one of us does.
I mean, I'm truly a Knicks fan. I will say that. I'm truly a Yankees fan. I will say that. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm a Yankees and Knicks fan. I hate the Rangers.
So who do you like, Tyson?
Devils.
Okay. So the question is, man, who y'all going for in the finals? Boston or Golden State?
Golden State easily.
Boston.
Yeah, I fucking hate Boston, bro. That shit, bro. Anything from Massachusetts, I just don't like. I don't like the Celtics, Patriots. I don't like the Red Sox. I don't like the Bruins, man. I don't even like hockey. So I'm just saying, bro. I'm hoping to go State.
So this is the third person that's already mentioned this. The Primetime owes us a shotgun.
I did say I would do one tonight to celebrate the Rangers win. I was going to do it at the end of the game last night, and then I was too tired, so I said I'd push it off to tonight.
All right. So that is true that you owe it. Everybody's calling you out on that, so that's good. Yeah, I mean, I don't even care about basketball, to be honest with you. I watch the Knicks, but after that, I don't care about Golden State, Boston. I don't care.
Yeah, man, finals, man. Did y'all watch the fight Saturday?
I did. It was a 6-round knockout.
Yeah, but listen, this the whole thing. How'd you have it though? Because everybody I've been talking to was like, "Yo, man, how many rounds you think a boy won?" He probably won 4, if not 5. Yeah. But it was a defensive fight though, so it was a defensive fight, so it could have went either way. But he was definitely in control of the fight.
Just waiting for a shot.
Yo, bro, he smacked the shit out of him, bro. When he stood up prime time, he beat the count. So you thought he would make it, bro. Then his legs, bro, he was done.
Yeah.
Even when walking back to the locker room, his ass was still tiptoeing. So he was done.
All right, you got a great job, Tyrone. Keep pushing through, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
There you go. Let's see what we got here. Syndergaard's getting cooked tonight. I guess the Yankees are doing pretty well. I don't have the game on either. So I guess the big news of today, I guess, because news is going to be kind of slow over the next couple of weeks, is that the whole Quan Alexander thing is back, where the Jets still have interest. So I think it's twofold, the situation on this. I think the first one is, what kind of playing time does he want? Does he want to be a starter? And secondly, how much money does he want? So I guess Primetime, I'll go with you first. Obviously the Jets have a hole. They lack depth at linebackers. And he's known for his coverage, but he's also been banged up a lot too, man. So it's what are you bringing him in as?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the defense right now, if you look at the one area that the Jets probably could use some more reinforcements, some more help, it would be, an outside linebacker or coverage linebacker type. And Alexander, he's only 27 years old. He's got 2 years of experience in a solid system. There's a reason, he's a free agent right now. I know he's got some issues, even though he's got the speed. I guess sometimes technique-wise and coverage, he can get beat every now and then. He misses some tackles here and there. But for what we have on the roster right now, I think he's clearly better than, Quincy Williams or Nasruddin. You got Sherwood coming off the Achilles surgery. So just to have some veteran depth, a guy that knows the system, that can play with that speed, I think it makes plenty of sense unless he's asking for, something crazy.
So are you bringing him in? Are you bringing him as depth or as a starter?
I give him an opportunity to earn a starting spot. Yeah, I don't think I hand him a spot.
What do you think, Tyrone?
I agree with Prime Time. I mean, I think you bring him in if you.
And we frozen.
The take was so cold, he froze.
I was just leaving like that. He's making a kissy face.
Yeah, it's like he's taking a selfie right now. Looks like. So I guess the thing with him is I guess it's really up to him though what he's looking for, what he wants to do. Like I think the whole day he probably
there can't be too many options out there. The Jets met with him a month ago. He still hasn't signed anywhere. The Jets still have interest. So I mean, I can't imagine that they're too far apart off in terms of financials. And the Jets have.
And I think probably, and this is probably Joe Douglas doing playing the slow game here. Be like, listen, man, we know what here he is. Joe Douglas is kind of saying, listen, man, this is our offer. If you want to go back throughout the market, check out what you can get, come back to us and talk to us. It's great, but this is what we're offering you. That's kind of where it is, And like this is what he's known for, to be honest with you. Joe Douglas always does this kind of stuff.
But that's how you should do it, though, man. Like I was saying, man. Like I think that if giving him a contract, you give him a contract with some upside on it, and just let him come in and compete. It's great to have more depth.
But see, I think the challenge is, it's like I think what we all want him to do. Say, listen, man, we'll give you just say in theory, $5 million a year with incentives if you're a starter, if you play this many reps, this and that. And he may be like, listen, you know what? I want that money now. Like I don't want $5 million when it says I want $9 million to start. Like, I'm like, I think that could be the difference of what he perceives his value.
If that money was there, I think he would have taken it already. Unless his plan is just to hold out until somebody gets hurt, and maybe he signs later, in training camp sometime in August.
And they might be big on Nasruddin, though, man. Like I know Sherwood's going to back up Mosley, but they might be big on Nasruddin. You know what I'm saying?
That's risky, man.
Then the other kid we got from San Francisco, you know what I'm saying, as well. Another guy that that kind of fits that. It kind of fits that hybrid role that they like. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only you know what I'm saying, weak part we really have right now is our outside line, outside linebacker, and also offensive line. You know what I'm saying? More depth on the offensive line, but guys are going to get cut though too. So.
Yeah, but see, I would make an argument safety could be out there too, because LaMarcus Joyner hasn't played in a couple of years, man. So you don't know what you're getting. Like, he's a veteran, he has experience, they're high on him, but he hasn't played. So I can make an argument that safety could be, and I understand we have a gazillion guys back there. They love Pinnock. I know the one person asked us, could Pinnock start? And that'd be a great case if he does, but I can make an argument safety could be, one of these guys breaks loose, maybe sign one of those guys too.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it also depends how the value of the guys they're bringing back too, with Parks and Elijah Riley, Ashton Davis. This is probably his last shot as a third-round pick. You got a lot of quantity. I don't know if you have a whole lot of quality.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I feel that one. That's a great point.
And this is another name that's mentioned often, Deion Jones from Atlanta. Obviously, the ties to the coaching staff, but he had a rough year last year. So it's like, what player are you signing? The guy that played last year, the guy that was good 2 years ago? It's another. That's what you kind of have to have faith in what Saleh and Ulbrich think on a player like that. But I guess it comes down to money and how they value him.
But a guy like that, I wouldn't mind having, just because the defense that we have, it'll free him up a whole lot too. Atlanta defense sucked last year. They sucked the last couple of years. So, having a guy like that come in, just what I'm saying, with his ability to be able to get to the pass, get to the quarterback, is always an added plus. You know what I'm saying, than what we already have. So I like that. I think any guy that looks at our system is going to see that they're going to be free. You know what I'm saying? You're going to free up a lot of guys. So it's not going to be you can scheme however you want to scheme, but it's too many guys to get ready to scheme for. So it's going to be should be a good look, man. We stay healthy, man. I'm looking forward to it though, for real.
Yeah, there's definitely some opportunities there. I think the Jets will be active. They have the cap space. There's plenty they can do. We got a lot of good questions in here. There can be a lot of surprise cuts. Now the question is, will there be any surprise cuts on the Jets? Any cuts we don't see coming?
I mentioned a few weeks ago, I don't think Vinny Curry's going to make it just because they have too many bodies. A lot of young guys that I think they prefer to keep in the rotation along the D line. Maybe Chuma Edoga, maybe he gets cut if you bring in another vet on the O line because you still got Herbig and you got Dan Feeney backing up on the interior. Maybe Tevin Coleman if Zonovan Knight makes it as your third running back.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. What do you think, Tyrone?
I'm going to say this right here. I think Vinny makes it. I think his
I think he does too.
His leadership, his what he brings prime time, he's bringing more than just and actually he's still a good player, but he brings that veteran, what I'm saying, leadership, and he brings that toughness that we lack.
So how many players are you keeping on your front four?
I mean, you would say 9.
Definitely 90 linemen.
9. I'm saying all together. Yeah,
you got Lawson, Quinnen, Sheldon, Franklin Myers, Jermaine Johnson, Solomon Thomas, Bryce Huff, Jacob Martin. That's 8. I think those guys are set. Clemens is 9. He's not getting cut. Shepard would be 10. Vinny Curry would be 11. Zuniga, he's probably cut.
He's definitely.
I don't know if Vinny Curry's making it.
Man, I hope so. And I don't think Ty Johnson.
I mean, which of those first 9 guys are you cutting though? Jacob Martin's not getting cut. Bryce Huff's not getting cut.
I mean, you make a good point, but I'm just saying, man. It's a long summer. Somebody might get hurt. I mean, listen, I think maybe one of the guy we drafted last year, he might be practice squad. I think Zuniga definitely.
Jonathan Marshall.
Yeah, I think Zuniga definitely not going to make it. I don't think Ty Johnson makes it either. I don't think Ty Johnson makes it either.
I definitely think he makes it.
Oh yeah, he's definitely out. Him and P. Ryan are both out.
Him and P. Ryan definitely gone. And I don't think your boy, what's his name too? Yaboga, the tight end.
Kenny Yeboah?
Oh, Yeboah?
I don't think he makes it either. I think he makes the practice squad.
Well, there's just too much talent.
Yeah,
Tim and Lawrence Cage could both be on the practice squad.
Yeah, but you know what's so crazy though? He came to the Jets like, yeah, man, they're gonna tight ends. I just ease my way in, bro. 1 off season, baby. They changed the whole perspective.
3-1 off season. Good problem to have though.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. There's definitely some interesting position battles. So waiting for your videos, Tyrone.
I got you, man. That was nothing to talk about, man. Listen,
since the draft.
I mean, it hasn't been a lot. It's kind of dead time right now. You know what I'm saying? So, well, listen.
Weird, man. It's weird. It's weird you say it because the channel's been staying pretty busy, but not a lot to talk about. It's kind of interesting.
I got you, Tyson.
I'm not worried about it anymore, man. It is what it is. But did Legend enjoy his Memorial Weekend? Legend is still hungover. He is a mess over there.
Yeah, listen. I'm going camping tomorrow morning, so I'm just letting you guys know this. So.
Prediction: do Jets win Super Bowl with Salah? How long is he going to be here for? Because it's not going to be this year. Let's see. What do you think, Prime Time? Will the Jets win a Super Bowl with Salah? And if so, what year is it?
I have a funny feeling. People are going to call me negative for saying this, but I feel like the Jets are – Salah's going to be here for a few years. I think they're going to win with him. I think they're going to make the playoffs with him. At some point, if LaFleur doesn't get a head coaching job, I have a feeling if the offense is doing well, if Zach Wilson's taking off, eventually that might be LaFleur's job. If Salah's not getting the defense to that next level. Just a funny feeling down the line.
Tyron, what do you think?
I mean, I'm gonna say yeah. I hope so. I'm not gonna say no. I mean, listen. I think that.
What year?
24, 25.
All right.
Excellent.
I mean, yeah. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, man, listen, bro.
2 years away. Let's go.
I mean, for the first time in a long time, man, I'm actually comfortable with our coach. I'm actually comfortable with our GM. You know what I'm saying? I'm even happy that Woody's sent out the way. So, I mean, this is the best team that they've put together in a long time. I mean, I know it's on paper and nobody's been played, nothing's been done. And I'm not looking for this season if it's not what I think it's going to be. I'm not going to doom and gloom. I just think that they're going in the right direction. And that's listen. Without direction, you have no direction.
Well, I mean, I agree to a point. I mean, there's 2 points I agree with here. I think Kevin's definitely right. If the Jets go 8-9 this year and this offense is high flying, the way the NFL is right now, hiring coordinators, Michael Ford can get a job somewhere because that's just the way everybody's hiring all these young, innovative guys. And then Tyrone, going back to what you said, if this year's a disappointment, that's going to be a problem, dude, because that's going to put everybody in the hot seat next year. I mean, depending on what's disappointing about it. Is it the coach? Is it the team? Is it the quarterback?
Also, what if LaFleur is this hot commodity coordinator? He's got 4 or 5 head coaching jobs lined up, and you're kind of on the fence with Salah. Do you just let LaFleur walk out of the building?
Yeah, I think Salah's going to be fine.
I like the way that him and Douglas are working together, though. That's the one thing that's kind of keeping me locked in on Salah right now. It seems like him and Douglas are on the same page, trying to build it the same way, have the same vision vision for the kind of culture that they want. So I want to give that time to develop. But in the back of my mind, I'm just swirling some ideas with LaFleur.
This is the topic that's been brought up over and over and over. The Jets improved in so many areas, but it all comes down to your quarterback. And Michael, to combat your question, he says all this talk about the Jets improving. What happens if your quarterback sucks? What happens if he doesn't suck? This team is going to be a shitload fun to watch. Yeah, I mean, that's the X factor. That's the expectations for Zach and what he actually does this year is going to dictate so much success for his team. Or going to make this a struggle, right? That's kind of where it is. And
even if he doesn't, at the very least, I think Douglas has done a good job building up the talent around him, where we shouldn't be a 4 or 5 win team, even if our quarterback's not that great. Hopefully it's closer to where we were with Sanchez, where you still have that ground and pound that's helping to lead you. You got a defense that's carrying things a little bit. I'm hoping that we're a little bit more closer to that than what we've seen the last few years.
There should be so much pressure off him right now, dude. You should have a better offensive line. You should have a running game. You have safety valves. You have all kinds of weapon at wide receiver. And if you have injuries, you can overcome them now. So now it's on Zach to play with any offense, Tyron. I mean, this isn't like in years past, like we said, Sam's got to carry the team. We need this. We need that. I think Zach last year felt like he had to carry the team because early on that was the expectation. He wants to be the superstar. He wants to be great. And now I think it's all coming. Now everybody's coming back to reality. All right, we know what we all have to do. We're all part of a team. We're all part of the process. We're one cohesive unit. I think he's going to be fine. Like there's pressure on him to perform, but they made it a lot easier for him. I mean, don't you think, Tyrone? Like seriously, like they did a lot of good things for him.
Like, bro, they really laid it out for him, bro. Like this is in a long time that this is probably like Sanchez, 08, 09, 010 type team. You know what I'm saying? Where you got a solid team, top to bottom. There's not a lot of holes in it. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what the coaches do. But I think Zach, it's laid out for the kid to be good. And I think that they're making it simple. We're going to get a great running back. You know what I'm saying? You improved your offensive line, and you know what I'm saying? You got 2 tight ends, a young quarterback's best friend. So I think that you take the pressure off of him and let him slide into the season. You know what I'm saying? Not coming out having to be a gunslinger. Let him slide into the season. So by mid-season, this kid understands everything. This kid is out there. The kid has the cannon of an arm, can make every throw, and the kid just has to get smart. Like, listen, the biggest thing he did last year, bro, he was trying to do too much. Yo, listen. I keep saying.
Well, they all failed last year, though. I mean, early on the season, dude, it was the coordinator's fault. The receivers are dropping passes.
It wasn't the coordinator's fault. Listen, it was the quarterback's fault. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because when Mike White came in, when Flacco came in, when Johnson came in, the offense moved. Remember, listen, we was on the show thinking it was the OC. It wasn't the OC.
But it was a cumulative effort, though. Early on, like we talk about it. Look, when Elijah Moore dropped that pass week 1, what happens? Changes the entire game. Corey Davis keeps falling down, dropping passes. Like everybody. They Zach Wilson struggled. I thought he should have been benched. I should have been benched before he got injured. I agreed. But I mean, as the Jets, as a team, they were all finding himself. LaFleur was on the field, then he went into the booth. Like all this shit changed throughout the season.
But Tyson, listen, if the young quarterback would have took his time and took what the defense gave him, we would have been in a lot more games. I mean, listen, the kid can rip it. So when you got a quarterback like that, who can really make, really put the ball wherever he want to put the ball at, if he just lets the game come to him, bro, and once he figures that out, man, listen, I don't care what anybody's saying. I'll go on the record for this. I really think this kid is going to be a problem. And I mean he's going to be a problem throughout the league. I think this kid really wants it, but not even want it. His skill level alone will get him over the top. It's just understanding and letting the game come to him. Now, there's no more excuses about what needs to be done, because Joe D damn near in 2 seasons did everything that you could ask from a young quarterback. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't complain about, yo, man, we ain't got a running back. Oh, I got that fixed. We don't got no tight ends. I got that fixed. We don't got receivers. Yeah, that's fixed too. Offensive line, the one piece that we're missing, and I'm going to say this, and we keep harping on the same thing. I want more. I want tackle backup. You know what I'm saying? And I want a center backup. You know what I'm saying? I don't like Feeney going in and being the backup center. I'm not really too keen on that. If you upgrade the center next year, that offensive line has been revamped in 3 years, and you possibly got 2 Pro Bowlers, maybe 2.5 on that offensive line.
Could have 3.
Yeah, we could have 4.
If Becton does this thing, you could have 3. You have 2 guards and a tackle. Prime time. Is there a Rangers stream? The Rangers stream tomorrow night? Prime time.
We have our state tournament game tomorrow night. So depending on what time our bus gets back, I'm hoping to do a stream. So I would.
Good luck tomorrow, prime time. Good luck tomorrow,
for
man.
sure, absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hopefully the
Hey, I'm
season's
letting
still
y'all know
going.
something too, man. I'm gonna send y'all a few pictures of me out there in the wilderness, man. I'm letting y'all know, man. I ain't going. I'm not. Listen, check my Facebook tomorrow. 'Cause I don't go nowhere without it. So you know what I'm saying. So my man was like, "Yo, bro," I said, "Yo, bro, I got something big." That's gonna be fun though, man.
Is Zach Wilson ready to lead grown men? That's the real question. I mean, I think he's doing a really good job this offseason, going to meet all his teammates, doing all kinds of different activities. And then Barrios are obviously good friends. I mean, I think that happens when you have more confidence in the offense.
Yeah,
Like you understand what the hell's going on. You have a good feel. And you can actually talk intelligently in the huddle and be like, listen, here's the route you got to run. Here's what you got to look for. I think that starts to happen this year and next year more.
Well, you know what gets me? I ain't mean to interrupt you, prime time. I'm trying to Tyson. I just want to say this real quick. Like, I listen to all these commentators, and all they do is like bash the Jets. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the one comment that really, really blows me, man, is they talk about Jacksonville, like Trevor Lawrence has won something.
Yep.
Like, this team has not improved in comparison to us. And the other comment I wanted to make is someone said that we haven't caught New England. Yeah, bro, listen. We might not caught them coaching-wise.
Yep.
We have caught them talent-wise. We've passed them in that level. If we come out there and play to the level we're supposed to, I'm sorry, we're not last place in this division. I can guarantee you that.
And that's the whole thing with that. Is I agree with you. I think there's two facets to that. The first one is Zach. I mean, the pieces on offense are there. It's up to Zach Wilson to maximize them and do it. The other thing is this defense didn't do jack shit last year, and the defense has a lot to prove this year, man. They were one of the worst in football. So it's like we see it because we're like, we watch them day in and day out. We see all the improvements. We think we know what they're going to do based on our experience. But the defense, if anything, has to prove significantly more than the offense does because they were gross last year. They couldn't do anything.
The defense was historically bad franchise-wise, worst in our history. So you think about how many times they were out there, 35 minutes a game, 38 minutes a game, 40 minutes a game sometimes. I mean, how does your offense get in a rhythm when Zach Wilson's on the bench for an hour?
First drive of the game, giving up points. First drive coming in a half, giving up points.
Always playing catch-up, always sitting on the bench. I mean, there were games where like an hour and a half would go by and Zach Wilson would run 3 plays. You can't get in a rhythm that way.
No,
it's impossible.
So,
as Boss Scott would say, can't stop a nosebleed, baby.
They could. So our question from Jared, how are we currently feeling as Jet fans on a scale of 1 to 10? In terms of like, I think we're all ready for the season. In terms of confidence level,
I'm a good 7.
Yeah, I mean, I expect 6, 7, 8 wins. I'm probably 7, 8 wins is where I'm hoping, and that's, and if you put your fanboy hat on,
so much, everyone's so focused on the wins. It's not so much about it's how they play. It's how your quarterback develops. It's your head coach getting his message through to the locker room. Yeah, you want to see the wins, but you also want to see them competitive against better teams.
Dude, you can do all the fancy shit you want, dude. If they're playing solid football and only win 4 games this year, there's gonna be problems, man. It's not gonna fly. You gotta win games.
You're gonna win more than 4 games, unless you're just blowing every single game late in the fourth quarter, like they did that one year with Bowles. I mean,
let's see what we got here. This team needs to man the F up and get more physical. They were soft as hell last year. I completely agree. I think, but also it also helps when you sign like guys like Jordan Whitehead, DJ Reed, Tomlinson. You draft some of these guys, got a little edge to them. That changes it, man. That helps a big ass time because it's a fair point.
Definitely.
Instill that mindset from day one in training camp. They have to be ready to go week 1. 4 games in a row, AFC North teams that bring it on defense every week. Got to be ready to go. Can't come out flat.
What's up, Alex? Sending you good vibes from Southern California. Yeah, Alex sent us some pretty cool logo designs too, man. So definitely appreciate that. Let's see what else we got here. What's up? We got to put the link in here. Shit, my bad. I didn't put the call link in here. Busy talking you clowns. So because I know everyone wants to get their daily dose of Vincent, so we can't make him miss anything. Let's see. Opening game versus Baltimore, set the barometer of what's to come in 22. Amped up for that matchup. I mean, you got to be. That's where you set the tone right there, man. You come out and just man up and play smash mouth physical football week 1, Tyrone. That's what you got to do. You have
Against
to.
Baltimore, absolutely, bro. You can ask for a better opponent, man, because listen. The one thing we know about Baltimore is they're going to be physical, they're going to be aggressive, and they're going to do what they know how to do. So you don't win that game by finesse. You win that game by being the man. So that's going to be a beautiful test.
And that's the one thing you don't want to see is the team get pushed around. And like I told Primetime the one day, it was like, dude, one of the things that bothers you the most is when you play those physical teams and we melt. And how many times a year do you see that where it's like they start pushing you around, beating you around, you start, the heads go down, and you're just like, all right, We're not a physical team. And in the Northeast, in this division with the Bills, you got to play in lousy weather. Also, you got to be able to match the intensity, match the physicality. You have to, man.
Yeah, sure indeed.
So from Marcus, I think people aren't making a big enough deal that we are very thin at offensive tackle. Becton coming off injury, Fant off knee surgery. This screams red flags. No arguments here, man. They need tackle help, dude.
Yeah.
You need depth. This is where you hope. I think this is where the June 1st cuts come in. That's where you get this. You find more players. Let's see. We got here Tyson. Okay, Tyson Primetime Tyrone.
In Adoga or McDermott, though. I mean, they brought both of them back. They both saw the field at times last year. I mean, I hope there's another plan B. Some kind of veteran.
Yes, sir.
I don't know who
they're like a C for me. I want a B. I want like another Moses or something like that to come
That's
in.
what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm looking for. Yeah.
Tyson Primetime Tyrone from 1 to 10. What's your level of confidence in the offensive line protecting Zach and giving him enough time to make his throws? Well, I guess, Trevor, the first question is who's playing left tackle? That's the first question we have. Are we all assuming it's going to be Fant?
Yeah.
I hope so.
At least to start.
So what's your level of confidence, Primetime, in the offensive line?
In the offensive line as a whole?
Yep.
7 or 8. Yeah, I think they're probably going to be stronger against the generating run blocking, but they'll be solid in pass protection. They should keep Wilson upright, and at the very least, you're going to give him enough time to get the ball out. LaFleur, he's usually designing things that are quick releases, so I don't think he should be getting beat the way he was the first half of last year.
What do you think, Tyrone?
I'm 7 and 8, and I'm factoring the tight ends as well. If the guys having problems, so yeah, with those two guards that we have, I'm definitely confident. I'm going to say, I'm probably going to say 8.5. So that's where I'm comfortable at. Right about there for me.
Yeah, I'm probably in the 6-7 range. Like having 2 Pro Bowl caliber guards is great. I think Veer Tucker's going to be fine. It's just hopefully that, what you get out of Becton, man. I just hoping that he comes back and just gives you a lot of good things. Because if he doesn't, you're right. You don't want I think we had glaring holes last year in the line. This year we don't, because we assume that we're going to get quality play. Then having 2 good guards makes McGovern better in theory because they don't keep blowing assignments, all this other shit. So should be. I'm pretty confident, I guess. I hate, it's weird though, because you talk about all these really good things, you start getting nervous, don't you? You're like, there's so much positivity surrounding the team, and it's just like, man, I don't want to.
It's about time.
You keep buying in. You're like, don't bad things start happening. Let's see.
I'm hoping that the Jets rebuild goes in a similar direction to the Rangers. Mine is the change in front office after.
Game was too fast for Wilson last year. Early on, it definitely was, man. Everything was too fast for him. What's up, Johnny? Tan looking on point. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Everybody's got their notices, everything. Let's see. There's definitely a lot of ifs, man. There's a lot of ifs, but the biggest if is Zach Wilson. That's the biggest one you have, right? I mean, other than that, it's like
that's true with any young team.
Yep. But then it's also if Carl Lawson comes back what's a fair range for Carl Lawson coming back, Tyrone? Like say even at 85% of what he usually is still a very good player.
Like I said, man, he led the league in quarterback Harry. So I don't need him to come in and give me 12, 15 sacks. I'll be happy whatever he gives. But I think that him being on the field, his presence, his leadership, his aggressiveness, his no nonsense, quit type attitude. If he's getting to the quarterback, and he's getting Harry and guys like Rankin or Quinnen or John Frank Lamar on the other side, these guys are, getting to the quarterback and he's sitting them that way. I'm comfortable with that. Like, I just want to see him I want to see he's going to affect the game when he's on the field. So if he's 85%, he's better than anything that we had in a long time. So I don't think there's nobody else on his team that could do at 85 what he could do at 85. So I'm happy. I think that he's going to be fine. And I'm not, like I said, everyone has these crazy expectations. But listen, if you add in him coming in, like just his presence alone, man, is going to be a beautiful thing for this team, bro. Like I'm just saying, man, these guys really look up to him. They're dogs, man. You know what I'm saying? He said it himself. He said, bro, we dogs. Like these guys are dogs. That's why Vinny Curry wanted to come back so bad, bro. And did you know that Vinny Curry, every meeting, he was in every meeting. He's with the guys watching tape. You know what I'm saying? These guys want this because they got that camaraderie. They want to be good and they want to turn this thing around. Bro, I'm like, bro, listen. Them guys on the line are gonna be straight monsters, bro. They're gonna be.
Yeah, but nasty, but I also think too is like last year I think with Carl Lawson we we all thought he had to play, 50 snaps a game because he was like our only pass rusher. This year, you could bring Jermaine Johnson in behind him. You could bring in his other guys behind him where it's like there's going to be a drop-off, obviously, but it's still a lot of like these at least legitimate pass rushers, ideally off the edge. So it's, it'll help. And they could also learn from him too, which is probably even more invaluable.
And the kid we drafted from Texas A&M, listen, by the end of the season, this kid might be a starter. Just take my word for it. This kid is going to be a problem. He has the right mentality, bro. He has that switch, and you can't teach that, man. Like Tyson, you're a cage fighter. Prime time, you know what I'm saying? You're a coach. You understand. When somebody got that switch, who just, who can turn that on and just be that person, a lot of people want that, don't have it. This kid has it, so he might be better than Johnson before it's all said and done.
People are comparing Wilson to Devontae Adams, I guess. Devane Adams?
I ain't going that far.
No, I mean the thing about Garrett Wilson, I mean, it's just there's not a lot of pressure on him, man. I don't think he's gonna get the same opportunities as everybody else because you have Elijah Moore, you got Corey Davis, you got Barry, you got all the other guys, you had the tight ends, you had the running backs coming out of the backfield. I mean, that's I don't think Wilson can get those kind of opportunities. Like,
I think Knight beats out Johnson too. I think Knight, man. Listen, I think you got to put this kid on.
Does he beat out Tevin Coleman though?
Prime time, that's a hard one, man. Like I like Tevin Coleman. This kid, bro, is like he's a bowling ball with vision, bro. Like he's rough.
Coleman's a little bit more versatile, but I feel like this kid gives you a little something that you don't have right now.
That's why I said he possibly could, just because of what he brings to the table. Because you already have the guys that'll give you a
did we lose him? Did we lose Tyrone Sound or am I just not hearing him?
Get those 2 yards. Nah, man, my it's bad. It was a little weird out here, so my Wi-Fi is going in and out. So,
but see, you can keep. I mean, beating out Tevin Coleman means Coleman's getting cut, or you can keep four. You can keep 4 running backs.
I don't think they keep 4. I think the kid if they don't put him on there, he's definitely on the practice squad. But I think it's scary to put him on the practice squad because listen, this kid is gonna, he's a big kid, man, and he's he's a really good back. So like I said, man, we have great backs this year. These guys stay healthy, man. Oh my,
Here's the next question.
Go ahead. No, I would say it might be games where Zach pulls like a what's my man name in the Patriots quarterback.
Matt Jones.
Matt Jones. He throws the ball 10 times the whole game, bro. We just run the ball to people's throat. If you can't stop it, don't stop it. Feel me?
What's realistic expectations for Sauce in year 1? I mean, all pro. I mean, that's just realistic in my opinion, right? I mean, he's got to be all pro year 1. He has to be.
I ain't going that far.
I'm kidding, man. No, I mean he's not gonna be Revis year 1, man. I mean, he's gonna have a lot of learning curve. He's gonna have some speed bumps. I think he's gonna be upgraded what we had, but I mean, what do you mean? What do you think, Prime Time? I mean, I think he's gonna play well, but he's gonna learn a lot, man. It's gonna be learning trial by fire.
Yeah, I said I'm more curious to see how they're gonna use him, whether or not they feel he's ready for those matchups like Jamar Chase and being put on a number 1 wide receiver. Do you put him on an island against those number 1s, or do you give him safety help? Yep. Do you let DJ Reed handle the number 1s because he's got the experience, and you let Sauce get comfortable going up against number 2s? Yep. I think they've got a lot of different ways that they could use him. Are they going to go more zone, more man? He can do both. So.
Oh, we lose Tyrone again?
His Wi-Fi's terrible.
All right. Hello, boys. Chat, how y'all doing? It's a wonderful Wednesday in Australia. Cold as balls. Well, there's nothing cold about New Jersey right now. We got about, 93 degrees today. It's
95 today. Yeah, we
brutal.
weren't allowed to practice for more than an hour. It was so hot.
Hey, Tyson, follow you on Instagram. I see you running every morning. I'm trying to get in fight shape for amateur boxing. What do you do to stay consistent every day? You got to commit to it, man. Jump if you're getting ready for amateur boxing. Jump a lot of rope too, man. A lot of rope, a lot of heavy bag work, and then running too. That's all your supplement. You got to do it. You're probably got to do it at least 4 or 5 days a week, man. You've got to crank on cardio, dude. And if you do bag work, you got to do it. Time it. Don't just hit the bag. You got to do like 2-minute rounds, 3-minute rounds. Tyrone is back.
I run every single morning into the quick check and right back out.
Yeah. I run the quick check, you said?
Yeah. Run in, run out.
If we do end
I was doing good for a while. In the last few months since coaching started, I've just gotten lazy.
If we do end up going under 500 this year, mark my words, it will be the last time we finish under 500 for freaking years to come. All right, Alex, all fired up.
I like it.
All right.
Good at that.
Let's see. Tyson in primetime. Has anyone from work seen the Let's Talk Jets radio? Oh, everybody. All like people. I have like people like from my school that watch it now. Family, friends, all kinds of people watch this shit now. So yeah,
I've done a pretty good job of separating this from work for the most part. Most people that I work with don't know about this YouTube channel. I hope to keep it that way. The students I work with also hope to keep it that way. Like to keep my job. So.
I'm not so lucky. And Tyrone's already a celebrity though, so he probably actively promotes himself. He's walking around with the shirts and everything.
Oh, you know what's crazy? Walmart every week.
Yo, you crazy, y'all. Listen, I saw my man from Wawa today. He said he's watching. What's up, big dog? Yo, when I was getting out of the car today, he was like, "Yo, can you give me a hug?" He's like, "Yo, baby, thanks for the shout out, baby." And I was like, "Yo, just watching."
On celebrity.
Now, listen, out here when I see Jet fans, bro, I throw them their way, bro. I'm telling you, because like it's far and few between. So when I see a Jet fan, you know you're a real Jet fan out here, and so.
Joe, you didn't miss the shotgun if that's what you're asking about. Primetime still owes that. And then, of course, once Primetime does it, we will flag it and do a video breakdown of it, too. So you didn't miss anything yet. All still the same shit. We can bring on Bubs. What's up, man?
Hello.
What's up, Bubs?
Thanks for having me on.
What's up, Bubs?
Of course, man.
Great. Enjoyed the stream last night. Great Ranger win. It was a blowout, which
Such
I want. I didn't want another Game 7 overtime for my own health.
Too bad the run is over now, though.
Two power play goals, and they just ran with it.
Now they get a huge dose of reality this series. Just smack right out of the playoffs.
Bring it on. You want to be the best? Got to beat the best.
It's going to be interesting. You have a team with 9 days of rest and a team that just played on Monday. So
I think that helps us. I think that helps us. Playoff hockey, you sit for 9 days. That's not good.
Yeah, and we're on home ice, so we'll see.
Yep.
But anyway, I wanted to get to a couple of things, Quan Alexander, and then I know you guys have been talking about Wilson. Like you continue to hear, and I even hear it from some people that I know, like, and this is why you just want the season to kind of be here, and you want to see success from this team. But it's like you still have people that don't believe in Wilson. You still have people that don't buy into him, and still, are saying all this negative stuff. And even just listening to him in his interviews, and you listen to guys like Yazama, a guy who played with Burrow, like you guys mentioned earlier, it seems like he's just so much more professional this year, much more ready to go. And he does have pressure on him, but it's a lot less, I think, than what other quarterbacks have, because he has the weapons around him. He has a legit run game. He has a much more improved coaching staff than what Darnold was working with and stuff. So, you just got to believe in him, and you just have to hope that all these pieces fall in place and he's successful, and, we get playoff football, and this is a team that
I think it's like we as fans all believe, because we see how the team has been built and how it's been composed. But the problem is, it's like now it's like, even I think, who was it? It was Dan Orlovsky, and I think it was Chris Sims. They're like, listen, man, they're like, we see it, but now you got to show it. Like, it's good to talk about it. On paper, this all makes sense. We have all these visions. We think we know how this offense can run, but now he's actually got to do it. If he does it, we'll be quite fine. If he doesn't, especially say the first half of the season, that's where shit can spiral out of control. Now it's just put up or shut up time, not to the point where his career's on the line, but to the point where it's like, all right, we see the hard work. We see the practice. We see all these great things. On game day, time to show it now. You got to take the step, because last year was not – he had 5 good games, a lot of not good games. This year, you got to come out the season, running the offense, starting to become a leader, getting the ball out of his hands, and becoming more of a difference maker on offense. Like, I know a lot of people are saying he could just game manage this year. Okay, if you want to maybe game manage the first few games to make sure everybody's in place, but after that, you got to become like a playmaker. Like, you got to be a difference maker on offense at some point. I mean, don't you think, Tyrone? Like, it's like game managing is cool, but at some point you become that player. Like, all right, you're now a threat on offense.
That's what I'm looking for the first couple of games. I mean, I'm being honest with you. Like, let's just ease him in. I mean, if he comes out and he's swinging, it's all fine. But listen, with the running game that you got, the tight ends that you have, the weapons that you have around him, you don't need him to come out and do anything crazy. Let the game come to you. Keep it simple. And, when it's time to make the throws, you make them. And that's just how you do it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to that, man. Listen, I think the kid is ready. I think the kid understands who he is and what he wants. I don't think that he has to come out and do anything over extra. What do you think, Prime Time?
I think that him learning to become a game manager is going to allow him to better unleash part of what we saw in the first half of the year, where he's making those plays off script, on the run, directing traffic downfield. He's got that improvisation ability where he can make those kind of plays, and then he'll also just toss up 3 interceptions for absolutely no reason. Right? That's what he was doing in the first half of the year. In the second half, it just seemed like he was so focused on only taking what the defense gave him, where he lost a little bit of that swag, a little bit of that it factor. So like I keep saying, I think it's just about balancing it out, taking what the defense gives you early, and then once they start creeping in with the speed that you have with Wilson and Moore and their ability to win one-on-ones, you should be able to soften up the defense and then hit them late towards the end of games. So that's what I think.
Yeah, exactly. To like your point, like last season, it seemed as at times he was trying to win the game in one throw. It'd be a 3rd down and 3, and he'd throw the ball 20 yards upfield when you only need 3 yards. So, he showed better command of that, towards the end of the season, which was good. I have two quick things. One, who do you feel like what do you feel more confident? Darnold's? Did you feel more confident about Darnold's second year? I probably know the answer. Or Wilson's second year.
I'll say it myself. I think Wilson, because of what's built around him right now. I don't think Darnold's ever had this kind of talent on him on both sides of the ball. Not this level of talent.
And coaching.
That's not even disrespecting Darnold.
I think for Darnold going into year 2, you're optimistic because of the way he finished out his rookie year, where you're like, he's working with nothing, and he just went toe-to-toe with Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers. Like, that was huge. Yep. But then what did they do around him? They added Adam Gase, Dowell Loggins. They got rid of Robbie. Like, they didn't help him at all. For Wilson, they've done it pretty much the opposite way, where you've got continuity within the system. You've invested first-round picks on the O-line at receiver. You signed 2 premium free agents. You got him 2 running backs. Everything a quarterback could want, you've given Zach Wilson within his second year. So that's huge. So there's no excuses for him. He's got plenty of talent around to help him, to ease him into things. He's set up perfectly. So I think because of the way they've handled it around him, I'm a little bit more confident in him going into year 2 right now.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely much more improved roster. And then for Quan Alexander, I know the rumors starting to ramp up. We'll see, obviously, whenever training camp comes around, if he's on the roster, or however it ends up unfolding throughout the summer. But I was looking at, like, his stats earlier, and, like, he's only played the last, 5 years, 7 games. It was, 38 games in the past 5 years, which is, an average of 7 games a year. So, you're not going to go out and pay a ton for the guy. He was a Pro Bowler at one time, but he has not been the same player since. He wasn't
6 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. I think it was his second year or something. So, would you be willing to give him a 1 or 2 year deal, $4 to $5 million, somewhere around that range?
Well, I think that's what the Jets are probably doing. Yeah, I think they recognize it, dude. They recognize that he's a vast injury history. They know the player who he is, but they're not going to overpay for him. I think Joe Douglas is slow playing it. Here's your offer, man. A lot of incentives. You can meet all these different goals. Take it or leave it. And if you don't want it, we'll just sit back and wait and just explore our options. I mean, it's.
And I wouldn't mind the second year. I just wouldn't guarantee it for him.
Nope.
And like you said, I think it's going to be very heavily incentivized too, as far as playing time, stats, and things like that.
Yeah, and if he doesn't sign here, obviously Douglas doesn't feel the pressure because they also have a lot of other young linebackers that they've Saleh and them seem to trust. So it's not a must need for them, but it would be nice. But it's definitely definitely a risk factor.
But I agree with what Kevin said though before. It was just they have a lot of young players out there. Is it quantity or is it quality? What kind of players do we have? Because a lot of them got hurt last year, which even sucks even more. You don't know what they are. And a lot of them are hybrid players, bouncing back and forth, safeties and linebackers and all this other shit. So you don't know, man. I mean, I would love to see a veteran here. If it's not Quan Alexander, somebody else. But you're not going to overpay for a guy that is not going to be your starter and has an injury history.
See, this is where it also gets tricky because you're kind of starting to turn the corner from being a rebuild team to a competitive team. So, what's more important now? Finding a piece that can be here for a couple of years, getting National Dean plenty of reps, or playing a guy like Quan Alexander who might cost you a little more money, who's better for right now, but is he part of your long-term plans? Or are you going to sign him to a long-term deal after this year if he only signs for 1 year?
I mean, if it's a guy that's going to help you win games this year, because we didn't see our defense last year. We don't know what our defense even is. If he can help you run your defense, and these guys can rotate in with him and keep coming in, coming out, and then get these guys their experience that way, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, and then the whole thing is Quincy Williams. Some people are a lot higher on Quincy Williams than I am. I think he's a good player. Good, solid, but I don't think he's a Pro Bowl guy and all this other stuff. You know what I mean?
Good player early. I don't know if I want him on the field past downs.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a very boom bust type player. He makes some big tackles, but he also misses a lot.
Yeah, but then the argument with that is that, now he's got a full offseason with the Jets.
Yeah.
He can work with the defense. He can figure it out. They can give him things to improve on. I mean, he's fast as hell. Maybe work on his tackling skills, his angles. He can be improved, but I still want another guy, man. It's just too much inexperience back there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely agree.
That's your last question? That's it?
Yeah, that's what I got.
I thought you had a long list for us, man. I thought you had like notes there.
No, I just had Quan Alexander. I did.
Are you rooting for the Rangers?
Yeah,
I've
been
I'm just making sure.
hard for him.
Do you realize that the New Jersey Generals are in first place? Do you know that?
Yeah, what are we, like 6-1?
That's right.
Something like that. Already clinched. New York sports all of a sudden is turning around.
And we going to freaking Canton, Ohio, for the 4th of July to watch the championship game. So.
Yeah, and you got the Yankees are dominating Syndergaard for the Mets fans.
Good.
I know a lot of Mets fans.
Somebody said Glaber got hurt. Did Glaber Torres get hurt?
Yeah, he was. He got taken out. I don't know if he came back, but he got taken out. He slid into second. It looked like he didn't look major. I mean, he didn't. The trainers didn't come out. He walked back to the dugout, but
this is like
the stand out now.
The freaking
hoping not. Glaber's been heating up too.
Yep.
And then I want us to do something in the outfield because I can't watch Hicks much longer.
Oh, dude, he's been so bad. Brian Cashman always loved him. I have no idea why, and he's been awful. Bring back Brett Gardner, dude. I don't even care at this point.
I know.
Bring him back.
He's wasted 7 years. He's had like 2 seasons where he's played 100+ games. He's never healthy, and when he is, he stinks. He's like the Yankees version of Julius Randle. He's hated by the fans and just underperforms.
He is. That's a good take, man. Bose, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
Good talking to you, man.
All right. So there's do you guys think Miami are going to live up to their expectations of this year? Depends on what you think from Tua.
Depends on Tua.
Yep.
Yeah.
They got plenty of talent, man. They got plenty of talent offense. They got plenty of talent defense. You got a first-time head coach, so he's going to probably learn a little bit too. But it comes down to the quarterback, I think. I mean, what's the Dolphins' expectations this year? 9 wins?
Probably more than that. 9-10. That offense
They got to
be
be
dynamic. And Tua's going into year 3. I mean, it's not like he's going into year 2. I mean, he should be what you expected him to be when you drafted him at this point. And
This is a big year for him, dude.
First-round picks for next year. So if he's not the guy, I'm sure they're just going to move on and draft a new kid next year.
Yeah, and that's like the big argument, that's the whole Stephen A. Smith thing is, are the Jets a last-place team? I mean, I guess if you're going to go based on the quarterback position, you're saying, everybody, I guess people are saying Zach Wilson's the worst quarterback of all of them. But I think there's a fine line between him and Mac Jones, and I think too it's got a lot to prove too, man.
Zach Wilson's got so much more ability than Mac Jones, but Mac Jones was just set up in a better situation last year from a coaching perspective, and just having guys that have done it before, as far as just not being in a new system with an offensive coordinator trying to figure things out for the first time head coach. A lot of things the Jets were trying to figure out last year. So tough to bring a rookie quarterback into that. Year 2 should be a lot better.
Yeah, I just think that Tua and for a first-time head coach McDaniel down there in Miami, man, he's got some pressure on him, man. They got to win. They got a win now team with a quarterback that's kind of like, kind of on the edge, but this is supposed to be an offensive guru, right? So if he can't maximize Tua's talent with all the talent that's around him, oof, good luck with that. And I still think the Jets can go to it. Like the Jets have got to split games, man. Like you got to split with the Dolphins, you got to split with the Patriots. You get sneaky get away from the Bills, that'd be awesome, but at least split with the Dolphins and Patriots.
If we were going to sweep somebody, who do you think it would be? Dolphins or Patriots?
Dolphins.
Yeah. I was thinking more New England.
Yeah, I just think Belichick just will cheat or find a way to get a game from us somehow. Just take advantage of the first-time head coach down in Miami. Do you think we split the first 4 games?
2-2.
I hope
There's a good chance Watson's not playing, so I think that Brown game is definitely winnable. Steeler game, I think, is winnable. I think they could go 2-2.
Yep.
Tyson.
What?
I got to give you some of this. So, yeah, if there's a team I think we sweep, I think it's definitely New England. And also, listen, Miami as well.
Was we both?
Yes.
We're sweeping both of them?
Listen.
Are we beating Buffalo at all? We're going 5-1 in the division?
Nah, I ain't going that far. I ain't crazy. Listen, I'm tripping a little bit, but I ain't tripping.
I'll take
Listen, But let me tell you my logic in this though, right? Listen, like yo, I listen to what you guys saying. I had to kick the Wi-Fi off, but anyway, so Miami, bro, listen, Tua's not that great of a quarterback, man. Like, listen, you're taking all these new pieces, a whole new system. What a quarterback! They really can't get the ball down the field. Like, yo, listen, I'm glad we don't play them the first game of the season because you don't know what they're gonna do. Give them a couple of weeks, they can put things on tape, man. They're not gonna be as good as everyone think they are. In New England, I'm telling you, man, they're on the decline, man. Listen, they have no talent at receivers, no talent at running back. They got 2 good tight ends. Their offensive line is suspect as hell, and their defense is okay. But I'm sorry, if you let the best cornerback in the league leave your team, and you're gonna tell me you're just gonna replace him? I'm sorry, bro. I know he's done that. But you know what I'm saying? I just don't see all of that being a factor. So then also splitting the first 4 games, I can see that, bro. I can see us beating either Cleveland without Watson. I can see us beating Pittsburgh, and you know what I'm saying, and maybe
beating Baltimore.
Even the Ravens, home opener. If that crowd's fired up, why not?
I mean, listen. Hey, listen. What if we come out this shit 4-0 in the first 4 games?
Oh, what are we doing,
bruh?
man?
Listen.
So
This stream will have a million people.
Just to recap the last 2 minutes, Tyrone has us sweeping the Patriots and Dolphins, and now he's talking about going 4-0 to start the season. This is like a Kool-Aid. This is like Kool-Aid talk right now.
Listen. I'm just saying though. I'm serious, man. Like I can see us splitting the first 4 games. I can see that either beating Pittsburgh and beating Cleveland, and the Baltimore games is toss up. Cincinnati, they're gonna get the little get back. So but listen, Cincinnati might not be as strong as they were last year. You understand what I'm saying? Like listen. Why can't we turn this around and be competitive? Listen. What wins football games is this, right? You have to have a quarterback that's capable of making good throws and taking care of the ball, right? You have to be able to run the football. You have to have decent tight ends. And you know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't going that far. But, hey, listen, if we did, though, I'm telling you. But what I'm saying here was this. Like, we have the ability to win 10 games this season. And we do. We do. What team besides Buffalo, Green Bay, what team scare you like that? Like the Ravens are a good football team. Okay, I ain't saying we win in Denver, but okay. Who else? I already said Buffalo.
That's 5 games.
Green Bay.
There's no game I'm going into saying we can't win, but just realistically where they are right now compared to a lot of these teams.
But every team changes. You think Aaron Rodgers? Listen, Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, and I ain't taking nothing from Aaron Rodgers. But you're telling me that losing Adams ain't gonna make a difference to him?
Yeah, but listen, it's easy to discount every other team, but all the things we expect the Jets actually have to prove. They actually have to show up on defense and play defense. And the quarterback has to act like an NFL quarterback for 17 games.
But Tyson, what
he has yet to do yet.
This is why I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. Okay,
drink it. You just spit out a gallon of it just now.
Listen, we're about to be in June, right? This is how I feel in June with the team that I see right now. None of this has been done. But if we go into this season and these guys do what we think they can do, then I feel like we could beat anybody. But it's like you said, it still has to be done. My problem with it is like, listen, I'm not looking at this in any kind of way. So if we don't win the first 4 games, I'm not tripping. And we won't.
Oh,
we don't win.
Dude, what? The Jets start out 0-4. This stream will be a complete disaster.
No, listen,
don't even
Tyson,
play with
Tyson,
this.
Listen. What I'm telling you is this though. They're not. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No, but you just said if the Jets go 0-4, you won't be tripping. If the Jets go 0-4, I will be tripping. Primetime will be tripping. This chat will be a disaster, and the Jets will be a mess.
Listen.
How did we get from 4-0 in the first 4 to 0-4?
No, I'm going both scenarios, top to bottom. Let me ask you a question though. Honestly, and how not every team makes that transcending every year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you think Cincinnati is going to be the same team they were last year? Baltimore after losing with no receivers, you know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, I'm not saying that we're better than anybody. You think Pittsburgh is going to be better with what's your man's? Not the rookie. What's my man?
Mason Rudolph.
No, from Chicago. What's his name? With the Buffalo backup last year.
Trubisky.
You think Pittsburgh's a better team with Trubisky as their quarterback?
Dude,
I bet it's different. You think Miami's better than us with Tua?
But we've got to prove it though, man. I don't think right now. Like I'm not saying any Jet game right now is a slam dunk. They're definitely gonna win it. I don't feel like that with any of them.
But look at Cincinnati last year. Listen, Cincinnati
Yeah,
is
but the
prime
difference
reason.
between Cincinnati, but see, I hate the Cincinnati argument. I fucking hate that argument because there's been never any point in Zach Wilson's career in the NFL that he played like Joe Burrow. Not even close to it. Nothing. Joe Burrow had a high flying offense. Then he got hurt and he came back and was still high flying. Zach Wilson was never high flying. We're giving him credit for being a good game manager and hold back his turnovers.
But Tyson,
To get it on Joe Burrow's level, Zach's got to take a monumental step forward.
But Tyson, well, that's what I'm saying though. The season he got hurt, right? They weren't a good football team. Look at that offseason, what they bought in.
But look how
They
Joe
filled
Burrow was
every
playing,
hole.
though. But Joe Burrow was already showed that he was the guy. The team bought in. He was a leader. You knew he was a slam dunk franchise quarterback. You knew it.
But what that GM did was he filled every hole. He put a better team around him. That's why he was able to make that. That's why when they were out of games, they were still in games. And one thing I'm gonna say about Jets and Cincinnati, and I know you guys are diehard Jet fans, and everybody who's watching this. Listen, we whooped Cincinnati's ass 9 out of 10 times. Y'all know this, right? I don't know what it is about Cincinnati playing us.
Yeah, but just going back to the whole like it's easy to try to compete. We want to be the next Bills, the next Bengals. We want to do all this. But when Josh Allen, he took a big step, then another big step. Like the quarterbacks are playing at a very, very high level, not a pedestrian level. Like I love Zach Wilson. I believe in his talent. I like what I see. But to even be mentioned with all these other teams, he has to play significantly better this year, dude. Significantly better.
Well, Tyson, I'll say this. In prime time, I'll let you comment after this. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we're more close to Buffalo than we are Cincinnati, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Buffalo, when they got Allen,
Cincinnati was in the Super Bowl.
No. That's not what I'm saying, Tyson. I'm just saying as growth, the way we're going, they got a good GM, they got a good head coach. Then they start building a foundation around them, getting pieces around them. They built and they became a really good football team. So if Zach makes that kind of move, like Josh Allen, I'm cool with that because there's a better team around Zach now. It's not just a quarterback with a bad football team. You actually have a really good football team, kind of like Primetime wanted to do when he wanted to keep Sam and make those picks. He said, "Yo, listen, build a team like the coach. You build a team and then let everything else fall into place." I think that we have the quarterback, but I also think that we have a good team as well.
Primetime, your thoughts?
I mean, I completely agree. I mean, there's no excuse as far as on the offensive side of the ball why we shouldn't be able to put up points this year and why Zach can at least take forward. You know, what he was able to show in the final 5 games, he clearly looked comfortable in the offense. We've seen the offense perform with 3 different quarterbacks. So it's not the system. We can't say, he's in the wrong system. It doesn't work. No, in the first year, it's shown to work. So, he's got to obviously get in sync with his receivers. He's got the weapons to do it. I think the tight ends, like you said before, that's going to be a huge safety valve for him, being able to utilize those guys, and Conklin and Uzama, having the running backs, Breece Hall coming out of the backfield. I think he's going to get lots of touches and really help just kind of ease some of the pressure off Wilson. Everything's set up around him. This kid should be able to take a nice step this year. And, it shouldn't be wrong to expect that either. We don't have to baby this kid. He's got the talent. He's got the help.
It's fine to expect it, but he's got to do that before we can start comparing to anybody else because he hasn't done it. Like last year was not enough sample size to say, you know what? Like right now at this moment, can you say Zach Wilson is your franchise quarterback?
No. But everybody's in such a rush to is he the next Josh Allen? Is he the next Joe Burrow? Well, let him be Zach Wilson. Let him grow on his own time.
But I understand.
I like that franchise. I like that franchise.
I mean, I said that a month ago. I understand it, but everybody's trying to say we're the next Bengals, we're the next Bills, we're the next this. We're not the next any of that because he has to make that happen for us. Because all the pieces that we have last year was one of the worst defenses. The offenses was completely nowhere where it needs to be. So to get to even remotely close where those teams were. We're not there yet, but that can be proven this year. But it's like we're like almost like a year or a half year behind of where those teams were in their year 2. You know what I mean? Because last year we didn't see enough last year due to injuries and everything else.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Completely different sport, but I'll really quickly just looking at what the Rangers are doing right now. I think going into this year, most people thought the Rangers are where the Jets are right now, going into this football season, where you hope that they make the playoffs, maybe win a series or 2, right? But ultimately, their young piece, the most important player at the most important position, became an MVP caliber player, right? And Igor lifted the entire team, right? The way he's standing on his head every night, it's uplifting everybody around him. So if ultimately Zach Wilson is that franchise guy with what Joe Douglas has done around him, this should be a team that's comparable to where Cincinnati kind of moved towards last year. They're not there yet. If Wilson's playing close to that level, there's enough talent here to be in the playoffs, I think, or at least to be in that 9-10 win range where you're competing for it.
I got a question though. Like, let's not go to Zach's last 5 games, right? If he plays like that this season, Tyson, or Primetime, what kind of stats will he have? If he played the way he did the last 5 games, what do you think? What numbers wise?
I mean, his stats aren't going to be that great. I mean,
nope.
He didn't put up huge numbers in those last 5 games.
We
were talking about before, he was managing the game, but it wasn't big numbers.
But the level he played at, the way he was taking what the defense gave him, with the talent he has around him, if he does that this year, what could you see his ceiling being?
I don't think you want that for a full season, though. You don't want him just managing the game for a full year. I understand if that's what your approach is, for the first couple games, trying to ease him back in with some new pieces. But towards the second half of the year, especially when your schedule starts to ease up a little bit, you should be unleashing him a little bit more. He should be getting in sync with his receivers, feeling a little bit more confident in the system, getting that swag back that he had the first half of his rookie year. He was making plays downfield. We should be seeing a little more of that, I think.
What I'm asking you is this, though. Like, him playing like that under control shows you that he can do it, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Each week, I'm expecting him to grow. Each week, I'm expecting him to grow, but I'm just saying, the last 5 games showed me this kid can run his offense. Now you got more pieces around him. So it's going to be, you know what I'm saying? So you don't need for him to do everything, but he's going to make a few throws, and they're going to attack down the field because you got players now that can attack from all angles now. Listen, the biggest problem we had last year, we couldn't attack the middle of the field. All our passes was post, out. Now you got 2 tight ends that you can attack the middle of the field. Listen, this offense is gonna be really. He's gonna flourish in this shit, bro. I'm telling you, man, he's gonna flourish, bro.
But see, it's easy to say that, but he has to actually do it. Like, this offensive line has got to do it. They've got to not get injuries. They got to catch the football. They got to do a lot of different things. There's a lot of things that have to happen here, and it's like I'm rooting for it to happen, but I just hate these. The Jets are the next Bengals. The Jets are this. There's a lot of good things that have to happen all simultaneously at the same time. A lot of pieces. Go ahead.
What's the one weakness on the offensive line? Who's the one weakness?
Tell me who the left tackle and right tackle is.
Okay.
And I'm not I think McGovern is okay. I'm just saying it's a lot of things have to happen right. A lot of things didn't happen right last year. Becton went down week 1. All the injuries happened. The defense was historically bad.
Do you bring in somebody for Becton though? I mean, are you willing to say that if he comes out, say he comes into camp, he's overweight, you know what I'm saying? He gives a problem.
If they were that concerned, I think they would have drafted somebody earlier.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Tyrone, you'll find out in 2 weeks at mandatory minicamp.
Yes, sir.
When he reports then. But listen, the Jets right now are a team that if there is a legitimate hole somewhere, you go out and address it. You have the cap space to do it.
Yep.
You got to give up a draft pick next year. I don't give a shit because this is the year that this offense has to take another level. You can't go into next year 3 of Zach Wilson and be like, well, we need this to make him better. We got to no, we need to know. We need to start getting answers here. Not that it's definitive, but you can't, if you have a glaring hole, you have to fix it. You have to. Because if we're being honest, look at last year. Last year, for an example, Joe Douglas fucked up. He didn't give Zach Wilson a goddamn tight end. He gave us Manny Moe and Jack playing there. Tyler Croft and Ryan Griffin and Wesco and all these other clowns that weren't very good, right? And that for a rookie quarterback is crucial to have that little outlet. He didn't do that. This year he upgraded it. He upgraded the offensive line. So those are all things he fixed. But Tyrone, to your point though, or just say, for example, God forbid, mandatory minicamp. I mean, right now there's no injuries. Injuries are going to start happening. When they do, we have some depth, but some places we don't have that depth. Go out and make a move, dude. Be aggressive and fix the holes. Don't give us band-aids and start throwing rookies in there. Just say, for example, Max Mitchell, who everybody, I don't know a lot about him. I know he's a project. You don't want him to be your backup. Going, okay, here you go, Rook. Go ahead, go out there and go out there and learn. That's a scary game to play with a rookie, with a second-year quarterback, man.
Yeah, true indeed.
He's probably the token game day inactive guy this year.
Yeah. And I ain't mad at it.
All right, we'll bring on Zach. Zach, what's up, man?
What's up, Zach?
What's going on, Zach?
Uh-oh. Nope.
Can't hear you, bro.
Uh-oh.
This happened last time.
Oh, boy.
Zach.
Come on, man.
Can't hear you, bro.
See, what are we doing here? Second caller of the night, and this is what we have going on. Now you're getting that.
Good now?
Yeah.
Yeah, got
right.
you. What's up, man?
There we go.
What's up? I don't know what the hell that was about, but all right. Well, first off, I'm happy that, we're looking at Alexander. We need linebackers, and getting him, I know that he's not the best with tackling, but coverage, he's huge, and I'd rather have CJ get bumped back into the inside and have him be covering, tight ends and running backs and doing that.
So 2 questions then.
All right.
Are you signing him to be the starter?
I would say it depends on how much money he wants. I think that, he needs to be the competition for Quincy Williams. I think that, Quincy did a lot last year. He played well, but I'm not ready to say like he's our definite starter. We need competition at that position. So I guess I would sign him to be the starter because he's had more experience in Salah's defense.
Because that could be the holdup, man. If they met with him, he came in, he's got familiarity, they know him. He could be like, listen, man, you want me? I want to start. Or if I don't start, I want X amount of dollars.
That's the thing, and that's all it's going to come down to that because, he's not going to be a long-term signing given his, injury. It'll be like a 1-year prove-it deal to see, if he's still good after all of his injuries, how he does in the new city. But that's the one position.
If possible, would you try to get him to like that 2-year contract, sort of like what Sheldon Rankin signed, where if like he plays good this year, you have him as an option for next year also?
Yeah, I mean, if it would bump down his overall cap hit going into next year, then yeah. Instead of giving him the 1 year with a bunch of guaranteed money. But at the same time, you got to see if he can make it through a season. And you got to see if too, like how much Quincy's going to bring to the table. That's just one of those things that competition, iron sharpens iron. You need to have something there. And that's our weakest position on the defense. Keeping CJ in the middle, having one of the best middle linebackers out there, probably top 15 in the league, fine. But we need an outside linebacker, having these hybrid safeties and all this. No, we need a guy who is a true outside linebacker that can either cover or even, come off the edge in some certain like situations.
Sorry, man. You're trying to make intelligent points, but we're getting the chat always overpowers that.
No, Zach. I agree with you, Zach. Like, listen, I mean, but does his injury history scare you at all? And I think that's something that, what I'm saying, like, if this is my thing, like, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Zach, like, I like Nasruddin. I like the kid. I really do. And I think if the kid, he had the offseason to bulk up a little bit, what I mean, I think they kind of want to see what these young guys are going to do before they bring them in. But I don't want them to go somewhere else. But I feel you on that one as well.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like, Nasruddin was also a late round pick, so he's like one of those guys that you're developing. I'm hoping he's taking strides as well. I hope that these young guys that they brought in, that they took chances on in the later rounds, can develop into guys that could come in and start. Last year's draft, they actually did hit on a lot of people in those later rounds, but at the same time, we need to be ready. The first half of the season's a gauntlet. I'm glad we have some depth, but we need guys that are going to go out there and ball out day one.
But Zach, what I was going to say to you is, he was a late round pick, but the only reason he was a late round pick is he got hurt. If this kid wouldn't have got hurt, what I'm saying, they was projecting this kid to be a first or second round pick. So, I mean, what I'm saying, and getting him where we got him at, it's kind of like, what I'm saying, Bryce Hall, what I'm saying? I mean, what I'm saying? You kind of find it, what I'm saying? So, like, I'm looking at it in a different perspective. I think maybe they really like one of these
Definitely
guys.
A different perspective tonight. There's no doubt about that.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, listen. When we go 4-0, baby, and we out here turned up, I said I don't want to hear nothing. But listen, when I send that request for that raise, man, I want to hear nothing, baby.
Send to Kevin. He'll take care of it.
I guess. Yeah, I'm hoping that, these guys can come out. Like, Michael Clemens is one of those guys that I'm hoping can really see the field and, show that, the mistakes in college was just like a stupid mistake. Come out, ball out, be a good rotational guy. God forbid somebody gets hurt and he needs more game time. But you look at his tape and guy's scary.
The cool thing about this team is there's a tremendous amount of competition, man. Like, every position group's got a lot of competition with a good mix of veterans, young guys, rookies. I mean, it's, and it's like, I don't think there's really one player where everybody's reliant. Like, this guy has to have a breakout year. Like, because they all have other guys that can, like, look at like Sauce Gardner. You have DJ Reed. You have Michael Carter. You have Bryce Hall. You have all the other guys back there that all help him, man. So it's not like, they can all get acclimated slowly. Garrett Wilson, he's got not a lot of pressure on him either, man. Like the Jets are in a pretty good spot with all that.
Yeah, definitely. No, I definitely think they are. But yeah, the schedule, Tyrone, I'm optimistic. Like I'm hoping the Jets can do what you're saying they're doing, but they got to have some realism there. I think.
Wait, Zach. Do you see the Jets sweeping both the Patriots and Dolphins this year?
No, I think they have the potential to sweep one of them.
So which one?
I would say the Dolphins, just because of the quarterback play. We've been, Belichick has gotten us so many times that it's like, it all depends on how that first game goes, because you got to see how Zach reacts, after the whole disaster he had last year against the Patriots. Yep. And
going to Miami in January helps too, I think.
Yeah.
September, 9 degrees.
Yeah, hell yeah. Bro.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
But definitely I think we have to. I think we can, but we also have to sweep at least one division opponent, and it's going to be Miami. If we can split against the Patriots, good. And if we can split against the Bills, even better. But I don't think that will happen unless, you never know what's going to happen. By the time we play, injuries might happen, any given Sunday, right? If the Jets are at least coming out every
minimum,
week,
find a way to be 500 in the division, basically.
Yes,
be 500 in the division, win at least. I could see this team winning at 8, 9 games. And as long as they're competitive, that's great. If it's 8, 9 games that they win, and then there's other games where they just don't show up or they look awful, just having the same inconsistency they've had the last 2 years, that's where we have to be worried.
Right, you want to see them be more consistent on both sides of the football, competitive, not like, because there were some trends last year where they started every game almost slow coming out the first quarter. It was like they were just stuck in quicksand. All of a sudden they started figuring things out. Game management, time management, holding players accountable, finishing off games, which is something the Jets have notoriously not been able to do, especially on defense. So they got a lot of things they got to kind of change this year.
Yeah, the big thing is first quarter, right off the bat, both the offense and the defense has to be on the same page. No more of just the defense balling out and the offense getting a slow start or vice versa.
But don't you think there's to me it's like we always focus on the offense because our offense has been so bad for so long. But to me, there's almost more pressure on Ulbrich in the defense this year.
There is.
I just feel like it's just because we always feel like with Zach and this and that, but dude, the defense that could play a huge part. If this defense could come out and get off the field, like primetime, you mentioned it. There was times Zach sat out a quarter, didn't even play the entire quarter because the defense couldn't go off the field. To me, if there's a make or break year for anybody in this entire team this year, it could be Ulbrich. If this defense isn't fucking top 20, top 15, he should be out of here.
I definitely agree with you on that one. There's no way around that. No way around that.
Or at what point in the year does Solid say, you're not getting it done, I'm going to start calling plays, start taking over more of the responsibility on the defensive side.
He should be doing that anyway.
Exactly. Listen, this is the problem I have with the one little gripe I got about Solid. Listen, I understand you want to be a coach of the whole team. Listen, you're a defensive specialist. There's no way your defensive coordinator should be looking that fucking bad. No, there's no way. Listen, after last year, look, bro, I'm in every meeting. I need to see your game plan. That's what we need to do because I don't listen. Because you said it right. If he doesn't do bad this year, somebody had to be chopped off, and it's his. But I also blame Salah because somebody had to fall on the sword. But Salah also as well has to be in those rooms and saying, look, I'm sorry, the first 4 games, if our defense stinks, yo, bro, you got to take over. I'm sorry.
Especially if it was and that was the one problem I had with Salah last year. I mean, especially early on in the season when the defense was getting completely gouged, and he couldn't really even explain what it was. Oh, it's not the scheme. Okay, but it's not the players. Well, if it's not the scheme, it's not the players. What is it? Just bad luck that we can't tackle? We can't stop the run? What is it? And they tried to explain different things. It's listen, man, and Tyrone, you're exactly right. We talked about this last year. Dude, your defense is getting gouged in embarrassing fashion. But you know what? Either take over the play calling or figure something or make adjustments. Whatever defense you're running, it's not working. You got to figure something out. In this year, it's on him, man. That has to be Ulbrich's job. Has got to be on the line. It just has to be.
Bro, listen, 3-27, 3rd-and-27, bro.
Oh,
y'all can't get off the field on multiple occasions. That's horrible.
Yep.
And those swings of the game,
Yep.
cost us the game. The game was over then. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, so, nah, I
Especially if you're bringing back this talent, you're bringing in the Jermaine Johnson, the Carl Lawson, the Jordan Whitehead, DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner. They have way too much talent for excuses, man. I understand that it's a lot of new pieces. So early season, you could have some things, but stopping the run is just it's just man up time, man. That's Tyron. We talked about this how many times? It's just who wants it more. Saleh says it. Saleh himself would say it. This is man-on-man football. Who wants it more? Who's going to shake? Who's making a tackle? All right. Well, last year you didn't. This year you have to.
I can deal with my secondary sucking. I can't deal with my defensive line not being able to
getting
stop
pushed
the run.
over.
That's something that and listen, it's the whole mindset. It started for me when Zach got crushed and nobody did shit. Like, yo, take the 15-yard penalty. I'm cool with that. Show me something. Now I feel like we got some dogs in there now. That ain't gonna happen. They ain't going for that. So you know what I'm saying? I think it's a different kind of mentality. But you got, you know what I'm saying, you got to get guys in and get guys to believe as well. Sometimes guys get bad habits. And sometimes if you can't fix bad habit, sometimes you have to get rid of that player. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but that's the thing. That falls on leadership. And that's where you bring in all these guys that, like Jermaine Johnson's, all these guys that had that little extra edge to them. Like, I really think Jordan White's gonna make a big difference, dude. Jordan Whitehead's a thumper. Like, these guys are gonna start bringing it, and that's you bring that passion, energy, but you set the tone in the locker room, man. But like, this shit here is gonna be like, CJ Mosley tried to do it, but I think he was trying to carry 22 guys with him, man, at some points where it's like, Jesus Christ, like, but like, you've got it, and this is and it's just like that, and your spirit will be tested week 1. Baltimore will test your heart, your spirit, your character. Because if you come out soft and come out slow, they will run you over, smack in your mouth, and dance on your field too.
And what I like about what Joe D did, what's my man, my man from Cincinnati, another guy who's a vocal guy. Every guy he brought in, everybody he brought him in from winning organizations. On top of that, they're vocal, and these guys aren't scared to stand up because they don't want to lose. And I feel like we got the right pieces. That's why we were talking about Vinny earlier. I think Vinny's the kind of guy that brings that edge. It's like, look, we're not gonna get pushed around. We can lose. I'm not getting punked here. You're not gonna play me and just you're not gonna do that.
The game means too much to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah,
what do you think, Zach?
It's just it's put up or shut up time for this team. It really is. The fan base we're getting sick and tired of being sick and tired about this. It's the players. You better be. If not, I don't want you in the locker room. If you're content with not winning, I don't want you here. That's the thing.
And that's the thing. And with us right now, it's like our expectations. Like last year, we wrote the season off saying, we know we're going to suck. We all said we're going to lose. We accepted it. We understand it. This year, we're not accepting anymore, and the team shouldn't either. Like week in and week out should be very, very competitive football. Doesn't mean you win 16 games, but you got to be competitive. You have to be.
They brought enough talent and depth to be versatile, not only on the offensive side but the defensive side. If they can't get the passing game going, you got Michael Carter and you got Breece Hall, and not to mention Tevin Coleman. You got 3 running backs out of the backfield. You got 3 tight ends. You have 4, maybe 5 receivers, depending on if Mims shows up, which I'm hoping he does. I'm hoping Mims, can get it together. He bounces back. Defensively, if that defensive line doesn't show up, it's time to think about it. It's time to think about who you keep and who you're not, because there's too much money that wrapped up in that defensive line to, get ran over every week.
I agree.
And it all comes down to week 1 against Baltimore. You stop the run, you stop them on offense, pretty much.
Are you going to the game?
I want to, but I mean, I live over in Massachusetts, so it's like a 5-hour drive.
So what?
You know what?
I live in Virginia, bro.
5 hours, man.
5-6 hours.
We freaking drove 3 hours for a freaking concert, man. Come on.
You know what? If
here we goes.
I want to. I am going to catch a game this year no matter what.
So you're here back down. I'll catch one game. It's not that one.
Well, I haven't been to a game in forever. Like, the last game I went to was like the Seahawks game back in 2016.
Oof.
Like that. Like, I went to that game and the Notre Dame game the same weekend, the one they played Syracuse there, like at MetLife. That was the last time I went to a game there.
So you're not going, basically. You're not going week 1.
If I can find some good tickets, I'll go.
You can find you good tickets, man. They're not. The game's
definitely
not
not a
sold
problem.
I was about to say, opening day, I better find some
not
good
a big deal,
tickets.
dude.
Not a big deal.
Dude, there's all kinds of deals going out there right now.
Yeah. No, for sure. I'm definitely going to catch at least one game this year. Hopefully in the first half. Yeah.
I might be at the first game. And, listen, we got tickets for Cleveland. So, I might be in Cleveland, too. So, let's get it.
Zach,
Hey,
thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Have a good one, guys.
You too.
You too,
Yeah,
man.
I told you, Tyson. Oh boy, I told prime time. Yeah, I'll tell you. I think we're after the show.
What happened?
I said I'll tell you after the show.
About what?
Tickets
You
to
taking us to
Cleveland,
Cleveland?
baby.
You're buying us tickets to Cleveland? Is that what you said?
I mean, I'm not buying, but somebody offered us tickets. So I'm
Oh.
just saying, like, yo, somebody offered us tickets. So I think we should go.
Can't turn that down.
All right, we're gonna talk to Nick. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to piggyback off of what Tyson said before, like about the expectations. As far as like the top down, I feel like I feel like I want to set the standards higher for this team than just like another rebuild season, you know? Because like if your owner at the top is saying that there's no playoff mandate, I'm saying there has to be a playoff mandate, but like if Woody Johnson is saying that like there's no playoff mandate, we just want to show improvement, we don't even have to have a winning season, to me that doesn't really fire up the team that much. And if you say, yeah, we expect to be a playoff team this year, that is going to light a fire under this team's ass, and they're going to play hard every single week because they may be jeopardy of losing their jobs. So I just feel like the standards from the top down in this organization, Joe Douglas and Scala especially, I feel like they have to truly believe this team can win quite a few games this year. I feel like that would do a lot of great things for the culture, you know?
Dude, I could not agree with you more, Nick. I hate when the owner speaks. I hate the owner, but I hate when he speaks even more because he never, ever knows. He doesn't know how to handle himself. He does not know how to say the right thing to appease the fan base and to motivate and inspire his team. It's just way too complacent. They try to pin things on him like, hey, man, is there a playoff mandate this year? No. I just want to see us play better and win some games and, be competitive in December. Like, does it hurt to say, you know what? I expect a very, very good team that should be very competitive. Like, that's the way it should be. But for so long, we've been so mediocre. He's never done that. But Joe Douglas also says that he does expect this team to be in the hunt in December, to play competitive games late in the year. Like, they all expect that. And I think this year they're going to get somewhat of a pass because I think every Jet fan and all that we've talked over the last 3 months is saying 6 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins, get a couple lucky bounces, we win 9 games. Dude, next year, no fucking excuses for nobody.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to say this better be a playoff team or heads will roll. Right, prime time? Think about it.
No,
We'll take 8 wins this year. Next year better be a playoff team, dude. Or
I even think going into this year, internally at least, from Douglas's perspective, Salah, they expect to win 9-10 games and make the playoffs. I feel like I agree with you.
Yes.
That should be the message. That should be where you're setting the bar. Now, as fans, being realistic, being able to take a step back where the team actually is, we could set those expectations a little bit lower and say, we want to be competitive. We want to see growth from the quarterback, growth from the head coach, compete against better teams. Hopefully you're somewhere in that 8 or 9 win range. Maybe you're, somewhere in the 6 or 7 win range if you don't close out a few games here and there. But internally, that bar's got to be set high. I completely agree with you on that.
But Woody Johnson's public comments are always laughable, dude. He always sets the wrong message, dude. He just doesn't.
If your owner at the top is saying we just want to show improvement, like that's it.
Yep.
That does nothing for the team and the culture because it doesn't fire them up at all.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think the sense of accountability starts with ownership. I mean, the getting fired up is going to come from Salah in the locker room, dude, and just the whole field and training camp, everything else. That's where it's going to come from. But the message where I think for far too often this organization, nobody's scared of losing their jobs in terms of players. They can mail shit in, hang out, go late to meetings, do this, do that, especially under Gase and Bowles, and not get fired, not lose a job, not get cut. That's the way it was. And hopefully that changes this year where, listen, if you're losing and not playing well, like one of the things last year we mentioned how many times where you got freaking guys getting personal fouls and they're still on the field. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like Denzel Mims is a really boneheaded play, still on the field. Now, some people say, well, that was because of injuries. That's because of this. Okay, whatever. Greg Van Roten played like shit for how many weeks, was never benched. Till finally at the end. Like that kind of stuff can't happen this year, man. You set the tone by saying, you know what, you're not playing well, you're off the field. You're benched. Bring the next guy in. That's how you get your culture and your tone there.
Yeah, like I'm not saying Salah has to be like a mean guy and just like bark at everybody on the sideline, but like he should be like really firing up the team in terms of like you guys are supposed to play well. You're NFL football players, not junior high players. You know,
But Nick, if you're being fair, and that was his biggest criticism early in the season, he was a zombie on the sidelines. We're like, dude, your ship is sinking here, and your arms are folded, and it looks like you're just trying to be all stoic, and it wasn't working. Towards the end of the season, though, he was yelling at the refs. He was on the sideline. There was a couple times where he was literally on the bench talking to his team, be like, you know, you could see him coaching the whole lineup. Like, what are you doing here? He got a lot more hands-on, which will help. But the Primetime's point, accountability, dude. Like, you're establishing your team, you're establishing your system, you're establishing your guidelines and your rules. Year 2, you start enforcing them, and you have guys in your locker room that help you enforce them. That's where Tomlinson's going to help. That's where DJ Reed's going to help. All these veteran guys, Whitehead, they're all going to help, man. Like, listen, man, this winning culture, this is what we're about here. We're the leaders, CJ Mosley. But that's how you do it. And when things aren't going right, and we all can see it, like, you can see when somebody's playing like shit week in and week out, you got to bench him, man. You can't be. Like, there's times where Todd Bowles was like, a lot of coaches become very favorable to veteran players, and they don't want to bench them, right? We saw the whole fucking Fitzpatrick shit and all these other things, right? You got to be able to have this switch. But listen, man, you keep respecting the locker room by benching guys that aren't playing well. They could be the highest paid player, the worst player, whatever it is. Sorry, man, you got to sit out this one. You know, and that's how you change things around here.
Yeah, to me, that goes back to training camp as well. Like, couldn't agree with Primetime more. Like, I really want to see this training camp be a lot more physical and like really play hard, because I think it was Connor Hughes last year. He was saying how like the solid training camp was more like a spa, like a vacation, other than like a really getting prepared for the NFL season. Like, that's a massive red flag last year, at least for me.
Dude, Nick, we were there. Primetime, we were there. We were sitting there watching it. We're like, the one practice, the kickers didn't practice, right?
No,
they didn't have the kick.
Wait, really? Oh.
Yeah, no, they didn't kick any. Like, not when we were there for almost 2 hours. The kickers didn't do anything but hang out and like do like the little.
They would line up in the formation and then go through the act of actually kicking a field goal, or the leg motion of a punt, but not actually punt the football or kick the football.
It was some of the least physical practice I've ever seen in my entire life, and I was like, all right, it's just like we're not there every day, so we don't see what they do when in the private practices, but like, based on how they were tackling early on, and it wasn't a very physical camp, man. And I think a lot of people, like, I think Connor said it. I think Dennis said it too. It's like, it was an interesting approach. Yeah,
like, it was just weird because, like, is it the whole point of training camp to get prepared for all of your opponents in the upcoming season, not to just like play football just to play football? Like, you're facing a very talented, well-coached, well-polished Baltimore Ravens team at home at MetLife Stadium on 9/11. You better be prepared to the teeth against this AFC North, the entire AFC North, and the entire AFC. You better be prepared, because if you're not, you're going to get embarrassed. That's going to piss me off and piss a lot of Jets fans off as well, I assume.
No, this is a really good call, Mick. This is a very fair point. Something Primetime's mentioned it. It was like, you don't want to have like, you can't have excruciating practices where you're physical 3 days a week. And there's also rules too in terms of contacts like that. But you got to, like, what was that one, the Oklahoma drill, Primetime, we used to love watching?
I used to love the cowbell drill.
The cowbell drill, like,
line one-on-one.
Yeah,
like that to ring the bell.
Yeah.
Shit like that. There was always fights. It was physical.
That's
like, if you watch Hard Knocks with Rex Ryan back in 2010, he was on Hard Knocks. Dude, that training camp was physical shit, dude.
Dude, we went down to Washington, so the Jets practicing with the Redskins. There was fights every friggin' session down there. They were going after it.
Your boy Moses. It was what's his name? He was San Francisco.
Trent Williams.
Yo, crazy.
Yeah, that guy's
trying to fight Coach Bowles.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
off the field.
And one last point I wanted to make is I really want this team to like feel like a team and not just like they're playing for their jobs. Like, I really want this offensive line, when Zach Wilson gets hit, get in the guy's face, dude. Like, like, even if you get a penalty, like, who cares? Like, you're standing up for your quarterback. I really want this team to stand up for each other and not just accept all these late hits all the time.
Well, and that was the biggest complaint last year, dude. It was like he would get hit, he'd be laying there. The offensive line, nobody seemed to care. On defense, they're getting gouged for 190 yards rushing. Nobody seemed to care. They're arm tackling and missing stuff. Like, it's got to change, dude. And that if you want to play against teams like, but Tyron, look, you got to play the Bengals, the Browns, the Steelers, the Ravens. These teams, no matter who the quarterback is, their defense is going to smack you around, dude. I don't care who the Steelers quarterback is. Their defense is going to come after you. If you're gonna back off and be soft, you're gonna get beat up.
No, I was
If
gonna
they're
say,
running up
Nick,
the score,
I-
make a stop.
yeah. I was gonna say this. Hey, Nick, you said it right, bro. Just say what you want to say. Just go. If you hit my quarterback, go smack the shit out of somebody. Let's do
That's what
that.
it should
You
be.
know what I'm saying? Exactly. That's what it should be. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, I'll let you guys go, guys. Have a great night.
Great call, man.
Me too,
Come
man.
on, bro.
Hold on. Have a good one.
And the other thing too is like if the team does that kind of stuff, there's a sense of pride that comes out there. Like that was the one thing Rex Ryan installed when he came here. When Rex Ryan, when he had that, this team actually gave a shit. And when you smacked them, like it wasn't always pretty, but you knew you were getting your best effort, and they were gonna at least fight for everything.
What
Like
Rex
we
say?
haven't seen that in a couple of years, man.
Rex say you hit one of ours, we hitting 10 of yours. Yo,
Yeah.
I respect that, bro. The right
Yeah, I
man
mean,
tell him.
that's one of the most. It's a physicality on both sides of the ball. The offensive line and the defense just getting after it's important, man. I'm not taking shots at Jay Klein, man. He's. I guess I'm just gonna ignore all those comments. What's up, Mr. Afram?
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
It's not bad.
Where's
Good. How are
Simone?
you?
How you doing, sir?
I'm great. My Rangers went on to the next round.
Hell yeah.
They'll take care of
Great feeling.
Tampa Bay. And
I got a
then
good
we'll
feeling.
raise the
Rams in
cup.
Tampa. We're
The
at
only
least going.
cup
We're
you're
at least
the only
going.
cup you're raising is your
We're
coffee
going to
cup.
raise the cup
Your coffee cup.
while the
You're the
Devils
Rangers.
sit at home and
You're
watch.
the Rangers.
How's everything going?
Good, man. Summertime's
Everybody,
almost
too
here.
much
Weather's
to-
been
this is,
nice.
we haven't gotten practice yet, and we're just worried about what's going to happen. Let's see what happens in practice. Let's see how this team develops before we start making judgment on people. It's a whole new team,
That's right.
So
Wait,
let's see what happens.
Okay. So, are we gonna?
That's what I'm saying.
Are we
I
gonna?
know you want to
sweep-
start a fight, but it's okay.
Are we gonna sweep both the Dolphins and Patriots?
No, I think we could sweep the Patriots
Okay.
because
Okay.
I think Dolphins still have a good defense.
Okay. So then, what's the Jets' division record going to be?
2, 3. I would say 2, 3. Sweep. Take 2. Split with 3 and 3.
That's fair enough.
3 and 3.
Okay.
You know.
So are the
We
Jets
catch the
gonna go-
Bills early, or if we catch the Bills with the injury prone or anything like that, then we might have.
That's but wait a minute. This should be the new Jets, man. We shouldn't worry about injuries. We win them
No,
we
no.
want them at their best.
If Buffalo has injuries,
Yeah, but
I'm
why are we
saying
worried
if we
about
catch
that?
them with that we have a good chance.
But that's
But
it.
listen.
We need injuries to win football games now.
I don't care. Listen, I'll take whatever.
Dude,
I
you're
can.
the Jets.
Come on,
I'm
man.
not worried about that. Trust me.
Just
So-
want to
You
win,
play with
baby.
what
I
you
want to
have.
see the best.
Play with what you have.
Just
So
all.
are we? So are we going to go 4-0 to start the season?
I'll put my answer to the side. Maybe in a couple of weeks, I might answer that question.
Tyrone's going to bribe you. Is what he's going to do.
Yeah, but listen, I want to see how they do. I want to see what happens this coming week. I want to see who gets released and see what he wants to do. I mean, they still got 8.8 million. They still got 3 players they haven't signed. You figure maybe that's another 2 million at best. So that was 6 million, and then you got 90 players signed or whatever. So you're gonna get a lot of money back because you can't hold on to everybody.
Right.
What is it? 16 on the 53, and then 16 on the practice squad, right?
Yep. So then, what are your thoughts on Quan Alexander?
My question is just if he hasn't had a complete season in a while, it's a big risk. If they paid him $1 million last year, I guess, with the Saints, right?
He make a
Still,
lot
if he's
of
only there for if he's like he can't complete even a half a season, what good is he? You
Yes,
want to
because-
get away from that, And if they really want him, they would have signed him. But I think we got to see what comes about. We see who are casualties of the cap, guys they can't sign next year, who they're going to let go.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to try to look for a tackle for backup to what they have. They need depth there, but I'm sure that, and I'm sure that there's talk about that defensive tackle. If they sign him,
Yep.
I see Shepard gone. Because
I'm surprised he's back to begin with.
I know, but it's depth. But if they get him, he's out because he's 29 years old. He's not making much.
Yep.
Yeah, Quan Alexander was ridiculously cheap last year. His base salary was under $1 million. With bonuses, it could be up to like $3 million. But yeah, he didn't make a lot.
But how many games did he play?
12.
Yeah, it wasn't a
If
lot.
you got 12 games out of him, that's not bad. Considering
12 games.
it's how they play them.
Starts.
It's just going to be how they play them. But
So you said offensive tackle, obviously. Do you think like safety or wide receiver could be an area Jets could try to upgrade to, like to get more depth?
it depends on who's free. I don't know if they're going to go and spend more money on a receiver, and who's going to really get cut. That's going to be costing you a lot. You know what I'm saying? Wide receivers. People holding on to their wide receivers, considering what the market is now.
Right.
It's like you want to get rid of that 2010 car, but now the price of a new car is. You see that 2010 looks good now.
Do you think that ups Corey Davis's value, especially if Mims maybe shows up in training camp?
Of course, his value is good because his contract's so cheap for the next 2-3 years, right?
That's what I'm saying. So you can find somebody to take on his contract,
if he shows that he is a good number 2, then he's a steal. While Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson progress. So I mean, there's we also got to know the turnover is going to happen next year also, right? So you want to build your core as you keep veterans, but I want to see what happens here, because he's got to leave. Probably leaves about $3 million, I would say, or $2 million left in the cap after the 6. We figure about $4 million he's going to spend, I think. And hopefully he gets some good depth there, and then get rid of guys. That's to me that is going to be the key, is the guys who he gets rid of.
You think he's made surprise cuts?
Well, the cuts because that's also there's a good judgment of talent, of acquiring talent, but you also have to make the judgment of who you're getting rid of that's going to go into another team.
Yep.
So who are you going to keep? Because the guys you keep, you're basing it based on their talent versus the guys you're going to let go. So those decisions better be right as well. So, training camp is when are the
end of July,
June, the OTAs.
Usually
mandatory minicamp is mid-June.
July.
Mid-June. Let's see what happens there. Let's see how Becton looks. Let's see how everyone gets together. They're all good character guys on this team.
Yep.
Everyone wants to play ball,
So then, is this a make or break year for Ulbrich? He's got to this defense got to be much better than last year. Or he's out of here.
But everyone brings that up, but he's running Salah's defense. He's just the guy who's running Salah's defense. He's not running his own defense. He's the guy that's running Salah's defense, the way he wants to play, the rotation, and 4-2-5 most of the time.
So they need
he's managing that defense. That's what he's doing. He may be making the calls, but he's actually running. He's running that defense. So now, if his play calling is not up to par, then with that talent,
Salah needs to get fired then.
I don't see.
And that would be the problem too. Because if the play calling is the problem, and Salah hears every play call and doesn't overpower it, then it's like, well,
yeah. Well, then that's going to have to be discussion internally and say, hey, look, this is what we need to do. You're not doing you're not getting the best out of this system, But this is not like each guy is individual, on their own island. This is a team effort. This is the way this Salah and JD have put this team together, and its coaching staff, they all collaborate with one another for everything.
Yeah, I guarantee you, if this defense is subpar this year, there'll be rumblings. Salah and Ulbrich not getting along.
Do you really think it's going to be subpar?
I don't, dude. What would be a successful year? Top 20 defense, top
Yeah, why
18.
not? Yeah, but remember what they had last year. They really didn't have, and one guy gets out, you're putting a guy totally new in there. It's not like they
The
had any
defensive line
depth
was
on
all
this
still
team.
intact, man, minus Lawson.
Yeah, the depth. They didn't have the guys filling in the gaps. They just didn't have. They didn't have the depth to do anything. It's
Yeah,
it was
but the depth they had it though, because if anything, going into the season, we were all concerned about the secondary. The secondary was the biggest concern, and guess what? The secondary played pretty well.
Yeah.
The disappointment was the front, and the front was Quinn Williams out last year. Was John Franklin Myers out last year? Was Sheldon Rankins out last year? Were they missing games?
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but I just also you need the linebacking core to you have to bring in Quincy Williams in. It's not like and Justin what was the other guy from the Detroit? He didn't pan out.
Jared Davis
didn't pan out. So I mean, you have those guys help the line, help the rush. It just didn't pan out. It's not just
Yeah, but your starting linebackers are the same this year.
Yeah. Well, Jared Davis isn't there. We don't know yet. We don't know who the starting linebackers are yet, do we?
Well, I mean, who's it going to be? It's Quincy right now. It's Quincy Williams and C.J. Mosley, who they ended the season with last year.
Yeah, but you might have Sherwood. You might have Nasruddin. You might have whoever they pick up if they pick up someone from the cuts. Let's see how this
hybrid player speed. Watch for Harris, hybrid player, knows the system. He's got some speed.
Yeah. That's why we have to wait and see. We can't pass judgment this early. Let's see what happens.
What else are we supposed to do? It's May 31st. If we're not passing judgment, what are we supposed to do?
Let's talk about the Rangers and how well they're doing. They're
doing well, and the run is over.
Yeah, the Mets are doing good. The Mets are doing good. The Yankees are doing good.
That's right.
A lot of the positivity here. We just
in Jersey.
We always have to fall on negative vibes all the time.
Well, we got to ask Mr. Positivity some tough questions to see if he waffles or not. Or
you could ask all you want. I'm still going with my 10 wins. I'm going to give this team a chance. I think they did well. A free agency. I think they did well in their draft picks. I think that they got a plan. If they're allowed to stick to it, it'll flourish. And the key is, to be together for, gel together. You can't really put a team together in 30 seconds or less.
2
teams
years.
have to, guys have, and he's building the team with young players, similar to the Rangers who have a young squad as well.
Mm-hmm.
And also were not supposed to even make the playoffs. They're supposed to be the worst team in the division.
So are you going to the home opener?
Just said that a half hour ago. Yep.
Why aren't you going to the home opener?
Home opener is here at my house, relaxing and watching TV.
Come on, man. We're having a party at your house, you're saying?
Hey, listen, I'm always open to that. Bring your beer. I don't drink, but bring your own beer. I'll even.
I'm down for that.
I'm easy. Listen. Let's be positive. Let's not be negative. We had the previous conversations and where we were so excited about who we got and how well they did, and now we're going back to that dundrum of well, this guy better do this guy better do this. Well, let's wait and see. Come on,
Rangers got me feeling good. I'm all positive.
Yeah, exactly. And the Jets got me feeling good. Rangers, the Yankees are feeling good. Your Mets are doing well. The Generals are doing well.
That's right.
Why do we have to fall on this path of negativity? Let's give it a chance before we start, attacking. I'll bring OJ before we start making you guys are going to be at the training camp again.
The practices?
Yeah, the practices. Yeah. You'll be doing the little thing with the phone, and
we'll try. Prime time's good at that.
Your take on everything. You should work on your credentials now and try to get in there and get on the field. At least one of you.
I could try in, but didn't go so well.
Kevin could probably get in a lot of Tyson.
I'm on the outs, man.
Although you're the hottest thing on the YouTube, I just want to let you know. I mean, it's hands down right now. Every time I look, you're on some YouTube channel.
Tyson in the One Jets Drive preview videos this year.
I'm telling you, I put on I'll put on a YouTube channel that has nothing to do about football, and all of a sudden I see Tyson in it. It's uncanny. It just
Doing
seems
interviews
to
all over the
land
world.
every-
I was watching a Nat Geo on kangaroos. Guess Tyson Roush. It was crazy.
That's it. Featuring
Yo.
I'm a big
you know,
fan of
surprise
kangaroos.
guest Tyson
and
Roush.
koala bears.
Surprise guest Tyson Roush. You know, cooking channels. You know, he's everywhere. You know, I'm telling you, the hottest thing on YouTube.
I appreciate it. And Afram always gives feedback too. Well, this wasn't your best segment right now, but you look like you were tired, so you're all right.
Hey, listen, hey, you want me to lie to you?
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, but you do good. You do good all the time. Hey, listen, and you're getting better at it, by the way.
Yeah, well, you have to, man, because you know what
You
the fucked up thing is, because like they do like our show, so I see the chat on the side. I'm like, oh man, these bastards. So it's like you got to be on point because they'll rip you to shreds.
But let me tell you something. Whoever I'm watching, these guys are bringing each other on, all the creators.
Yeah.
Smart move. It just gets their subscriptions up because now they get guys from this channel.
Yeah, there's a lot of good
add
channels.
on. It just helps the channel. You know, they're looking.
And now it's funny because now they have now they're having T-shirt battles and tailgate battles and ticket. It's funny, man.
And
we just
they're
get
getting
our own lane over here.
Who had it? Some of these guys are getting ex players. Who was the one that had Marcus, the defensive back? What was it?
Marcus Coleman.
Marcus Coleman was.
We can get him. We've had him like a million. We've had him like 3-4 times.
But they're getting these guys, and they're making. Who had?
Well, Joe Blewett used to do shows with Marcus Coleman. They used to do like film breakdowns.
Yeah, it was him. It was Joe.
Yeah, they're really good together. He's a coach.
Doozable was on with I forget who was he on.
We had Doozable. Come on, man.
But bring him on, man. Bring him on.
We had him on. I did a draft preview with him.
Bring him on the chat.
Everyone here
has been. Hey, listen,
Tyson's scared of us.
You brought the guy from Buffalo. Everyone was very respectable of him. No one started throwing comments left and right. You know. Everyone asked nice questions. They're very respectful. You know. Hey, listen, they're ball players. I'm sure they've heard it before. I don't think anyone's going to attack them. They're going to be nice out of respect for you and Tyrone and Kevin. You know, got to give it a shot. At least give the least likely one that you're not worried about ever coming back on the show.
We just said we don't care. Yeah.
You know, so try that. You know, spice up this channel a little bit more, man. You're the most popular guy on YouTube. I'm telling you.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling it, man. We appreciate it.
Take care, guys. Be well.
Have a good one, sir.
Have a good night.
All right. Frank Gore. Frank Gore actually won his last boxing match. He knocked the guy out.
Knocked him out. Yo, Tyson, you see that dude fall too? Right, he rocked the shit out of his ass, bro. Good punch.
He's a phenomenal athlete, man. He could do it all, Frank Gore. It's impressive. All right. We will go to our cleanup hitter who has it's funny. It's actually we could actually get him too. We can get Mike Westhoff. Yeah. But it's like it's funny because when like somebody starts doing the rounds, like everybody gets him. So I'm like, he's already on like 3 Twitter spaces and shit like that. I'm like, is it just kind of doing what everybody else is doing? So I'm like, but I don't know. It's up to you guys, I guess.
Man, bring Fireman Ed on. Let everybody talk to Ed, man.
He would probably do it too. 9-1 Yankees.
Bring the gate on.
I can interview Brady Quinn and go after him.
Fuck Brady Quinn, bum ass.
And one thing's funny about Jose will if somebody says something, is Jose it just calls him out on it. He's like he tagged me and Kevin.
My guy.
Jose. What's up, bro?
How are you?
You wearing a Detroit Lions shirt? What are you wearing over there?
It says Culver City.
I'm just busting you, man.
Culver City. It's
Culver City.
It's a city in California, close to Los Angeles. That's all I'll say.
Is that where the Seahawks are scouting for their new quarterback?
No, my mom actually works for the city of Culver City, so yeah.
Oh, very nice.
And my priest plays baseball at Culver City High School. So
nice.
yeah, she was actually catering Player of the Year in California.
Wow.
Nice.
There you go.
Back in 98, 99, something like that. Made it on that high. So that was nice back in the day. And he wanted to be a Yankee. I wish he
Nice.
was a Yankee right now, because they are killing my Angels.
I mean,
I know
Angels suck,
Syndergaard,
man.
not so much.
Yeah.
Hey, but hey, Jose, I have a question for you.
Yes, Tyson.
Did Primetime do his shotgun yet?
No. Primetime.
No.
I mean, we talked about it. We talked about accountability for a half hour. Just got to make sure we can hold people accountable around here.
Awful, man. Awful.
Hate you,
I got
bastards.
two words for you.
You hate Tyson. This is bad.
What's that? Listen, man. We came, Jose. We're 3 minutes into the show. Jose's Primetime was a shotgun. Primetime says, yes, I'm going to do it tonight. It's fucking, hey, man. Tonight's tonight.
Accountability,
I
baby.
still owe you my shug. I still owe you my shug.
We're going to save your shotgun for a special, like a game or something.
All right, sons.
So now we got, what
Sounds
time is
good.
it? Now we got 9:50. So, all right. Hour 15 shows. Like, we got to do a film breakdown of this.
I haven't shotgunned in like, this is going to be
Here
fucking
come the excuses. Come on, man.
No, not even an excuse.
Shotgun on the
This is going to be terrible. I haven't shotgunned since last football season.
You
Well.
shotgun on the draft.
It's not our fault you don't
Toughest part
practice.
is always the hole. I can
You
never
did a
get this
shot-
part right without spraying it everywhere, so I'll do my best.
PT,
Yeah.
Shotgun during the draft.
PT, you did a shotgun on the draft.
Hey, you lying
Yeah, I
bastard.
didn't remember that.
Yeah.
Yes. You did
Shows
two
how fucking
shotgun.
Tyrone's already disappointed. He didn't even start it. Tyrone's already disappointed.
Look at the hole,
Oh.
man. He's just taking his time, bro. I'd have been done already, man.
I'm trying to make the hole without it going all over the place.
This is
So how was your Memorial Day?
awesome.
Ooh, this is actually a quality hole. This might actually be a decent shotgun. This is a quality hole right now. I'm actually
Yeah.
sort of impressed.
Let's
Film
see, let's
breakdown.
see.
Listen,
Let's
he's taking his time. Should have been done already.
half hour to make the hole. Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
All right,
So
ready?
many.
Yep.
Cheers, boys. Let's go Rangers.
Cheers. Yes.
Oh wow, you didn't spill a lot. Taking him a half hour.
Excellent job.
Jesus
Good
Christ.
job. Good job,
Great
Prime Time.
job.
Good job,
That
bro.
wasn't too
That's
bad.
all right.
Great
That's
job.
pretty decent, baby. That's pretty decent.
He didn't even
Great
spill
That was
job.
good.
anything.
That was good. That was good. That was good.
Oh,
That was good. That was good.
well, I have unfortunate news for Rangers fan.
What's that?
Even if you do win, no one is beating Colorado.
Now Rangers.
Colorado is up. Colorado has scored 7 goals, and it's only
Yeah, they're not doing that on Ybor though.
Oh man! So, last night somebody asked me if the Seahawks were gonna win more or less than 4 games.
4 games?
Here's my response to that. I say they win exactly 4 games,
Oof.
and I'm
That's a
happy
rough
with
year,
Right,
man.
that.
right where you're at.
I'm happy with that
You're happy with 4 wins? Why? You want
Because-
Pete Carroll to quit?
because I get a top 5 pick.
Oh,
It's 4 wins.
That does
that's a
sound-
bad
not
mentality,
bad.
man. And that's a bad mentality. So is there a quarterback you want or something?
Yes,
Go
there
ahead.
is.
Pretty
Mike
legit.
White?
No, not
Bryce
no,
Young?
not Mike White. The quarterback out of Ohio State. And
Stroud?
oh, yes.
Jose, so it's May 31st. You're already talking about next year's draft for your team?
Well, in fairness, what were we talking about 2 years? Weren't we talking about Trevor Lawrence?
My quarterback is Geno Smith. So what do you want me?
You got Drew Lock, man.
Again, what do you want me?
Like Jose at all.
I am a realist, damn it.
4
I am
wins.
a
Oof.
realist.
Yeah, but the only problem you have is that does happen though if Pete Carroll stays or not. If he walks away from it and says, you know what, I can't go through this rebuild.
He's
Well, if
got
he knows
too
he's
much.
getting a franchise quarterback, I think he's more likely to stay.
got-
No?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
and he's got power in that organ.
If they're somewhere in
Organization.
limbo, like pick an 8th or
No.
11th or something like that, then I think it's more likely he walks away.
Now, Tyrone,
Yo,
Uh-oh.
to answer your question
Uh-oh.
about the finals,
Golden State, baby.
I got the Warriors in 6, and I'll be streaming every game.
Look at you.
So people
I'm looking forward to
come
that one, big bro.
join. Come.
Look at Jose marketing on our show.
Yes, sir.
Oh, no, I always stream the game.
I'm only kidding you, man.
I was gonna
I'm
stream
with you,
all
bro. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, bro. on
Nah,
that one.
man.
No,
No, I won't.
It's no way.
Jose is lowering expectations so when his Hawks beat us, he can rub it in our faces.
I will not do that.
Yes, you would. No, you so
No.
lie. If your Seahawks beat a 4-win season, if one of your wins
I
is over the
would-
Jets, your smile would be so big. You'd be talking so much shit.
And imagine we're sitting at 9
he
wins.
be
still
on
going
the
to that
show
game,
talking
that knocks
shit
us
the
out of
whole
playoffs or
night,
some
bro.
shit. Oh,
No, I would not. I would
He'll be tagging us in
Never.
every tweet he has. Don't
Never.
even lie, man. I know how
No,
you roll.
That'd be a long ass week after week.
the only
He would roll out
person,
for 4 years.
You ain't kidding.
the only
knows?
person I would tag is Elias.
You're so
Because
lying.
Elias is a pain in the neck.
He would he have a couple drinks in him. He'd be tagging us all over the place.
Oh!
All kinds of shit.
Oh, speaking of a couple of drinks,
Uh-oh.
you should have seen me this Sunday. I got blackout drunk.
Uh-oh. On what?
Beer, tequila, and champagne.
I'll do it.
Beer,
Blackout drunk. That's
tequila,
not
and
good,
champagne?
man.
It's a hell of a
Damn.
mix.
That's a terrible man.
How
Hey,
did
I'm not
champagne
gonna-
get involved in that?
We went to a club.
Look at you.
Bottle service.
Okay.
Bottle service. Damn, we can't afford to hang out with you.
I was hanging out with
Russell Wilson?
guys
Sierra?
guys in the Navy. So
Oh, nice. Fleet Week.
shout out to the Navy guys.
Jose, I'm glad you're doing well, man. I'm glad you made prime time do a shotgun. That's always good. Hold him
Yeah.
accountable.
Hey, you promised.
That's
I
right.
just want him to his promises. PT, good job last night. Go
Appreciate that.
Rangers.
Thank you. Let's go Rangers.
PT, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you,
Tyrone?
Jose.
Keep it going with the diet.
Thank you, brother.
But don't kill yourself.
Nah, bro.
Please don't kill yourself. Trying too hard. Tyson, keep doing you the great human being you are.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
We'll definitely do. We'll do a stream on Friday for the Generals for sure. It's a first place team. We gotta support them now. So, Jose, have a great night, man.
All right.
Love you guys.
I
you
love
later,
you, little
bro.
bro.
You too, man.
Be good, man.
Have a good night, man.
Jose actually lives in California, man, but he's a huge Seattle Seahawks fan. Yeah, he didn't mention Legend though. Legend got no love from Jose. I gotta mention that.
Yeah,
But he's funny. He'll tag us in tweets all the time, man. He's like, this guy, the one guy talks shit about me. He's like, Tyson, this guy just talks shit about you. I'm like, Jose, we're good, man. Like, it's fine.
I love
We-
Jose, bro.
we be called
That's
worse.
all right.
Thank you guys for joining us. I guess when did the Rangers play? Wednesday,
Tomorrow night.
Friday? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yep.
So Friday will be a Generals and Rangers show.
Yep.
All right, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, as long as
Well,
I'm home somewhat early tomorrow night, I'll hop on for a little bit.
Sure, I can find a lightning something around here. Find one that's some
I'll do
shit.
it. I'll do it.
Thank you. What's up, William? How you doing, man? We're covering the Generals. There are too many shows on Peacock. So thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you either Friday or next week.